What's good, y'all? Welcome to Go Dirty Bastards. We're on let's see, what episode are we fucking on? Let's see. We're on episode 65. Episode 65, as you see down below. So we had a pretty action-packed weekend in the sporting world. We had some big basketball games, especially out here in the Bay Area. This Memphis Grizzlies versus Warriors series been pretty much exciting. Last game was kind of ugly, but we'll get to that later. We had some UFC, some big fights in the UFC over the weekend. Canelo lost to Bivol. That was a big fight, big in the boxing world. Shook up the whole boxing world. Shook up the pound for pound rankings, all that good stuff. We're gonna talk a little NFL draft. We didn't get to, we've been off. We haven't got a chance to talk. We missed last week. Some stuff came up. So we got that. Like I said, we're gonna touch on the Warriors. Uh, and maybe Doctor Strange too. We'll talk a little bit about that. I seen that over the weekend. Give you some of my takes. For right now, I'm flying solo, but I'm supposed to have some guests coming on in a few minutes. So I'm gonna start with Canelo because that was the big news over the weekend. The biggest thing. Let me take off this 260, this 65 shit. Uh, so Canelo Bivol. Now I knew Bivol was going to be a threat at 175, which I never understood why people were bashing Canelo, saying he was cherry picking. He's scared of Charlo. He's scared of Charlo. He's scared of Benavidez. He's scared of Andrade. I never subscribed to that bullshit. I thought that at 175, Bivol was going to be the toughest out of those three opponents or four opponents. He was the biggest threat to Canelo. Now, that being said, I picked Canelo to win the fight. Unanimous decision. I thought he would be able to outpoint him. I thought Canelo was going to be a little faster with better movement, but Bivol, to his credit, was on point. He stuck Canelo consistently with that 1-2, 1-2 all night long. Didn't waver, didn't get tempted to start throwing haymakers. He was very content, very robotic in his approach to the fight. Now, I thought that could be his downfall, but it wasn't just the size that got Canelo; it was the skill of Bivol. Not just offensively, but defensively, he was able to keep Canelo honest. Canelo was winding up and throwing big shots early, trying to get Bivol out of there. Bivol's defense was very solid; wasn't allowing Canelo to hit him much. He got him with a couple uppercuts, but you could see that the Canelo at 175 was not going to be able to hurt Bivol, at least on this night. Now, you could say it was the vegan diet, uh, which could be a little something. I'm not going to make excuses for Canelo. Um, but I feel like it was a mistake for Canelo to even go up to 175. And I said it on the podcast, I said it multiple times. I felt like Canelo had the power to call anybody who wanted to get a payday to go to 168. He had the power. He possessed the power, the draw power, the pound for pound power, the pay per view power. He could have called all shots, and in that regards, you could say it was a mistake, but at the same time, we want these boxers to dare to be great. So I ain't mad at Canelo. Like, I feel like he probably should have just stayed at 168 and commanded anybody to come down and get paid. But he wanted to push himself, and I guess he was kind of feeling himself a little too much. Now I don't really hold it against him, as I said, but with that said, I do have to knock him down a notch. I had him and Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford, 1A, 1B, going into this fight. Now, you don't get penalized for daring to be great, but you do get penalized for having a loss. He has 2 losses now on his resume, and Bud Crawford has none. Now, you could make the argument that Bud has not had the quality resume of Canelo, and that's true. But in Bud's last few fights, he has had quality fights. I mean, he just stopped Sean Porter, which nobody has done to this point uh, as of yet. So I'm gonna put Bud ahead of Canelo in the pound for pound rankings, but I'm not gonna bag on Canelo like most of these people out there, just attacking him, questioning his legacy. I mean, the legacy cannot be questioned. I don't even see anybody going up weight classes except for Canelo. You got some of these lighter cats going up 130, 135, but I don't see nobody going from 160 to 168 to 175. I'm not seeing it. So I don't hold it too much against Canelo, but I will say it did cost him his pound for pound, in my opinion. Now, some people would say Spence. I would argue that Crawford is the better boxer out of the two, and I pick Crawford to win that fight between Spence and Crawford if they do ever get in the fucking ring, which I don't know if they will or not. Who knows? We hope that that happens. We don't want to see another Mayweather Pacquiao, any of these guys that didn't have the big fights in the prime. We want to see best fight the best in their prime. So I hope that this fight with Crawford and Spence takes place, and whoever wins that fight will probably have a bigger claim to the pound for pound throne at that point, and may have leapfrog Canelo anyway. So I don't I don't think in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be that big of a difference. Now, Canelo could theoretically get that pound for pound back. He would have to go back down to 68, or win a rematch at 175 with Bivol, which I don't know how likely that fight is actually to happen at this point because Canelo is kind of backtracked a little bit, and from what I read on IG, that he may not even take this rematch. I wouldn't recommend it honestly. There's been talk actually of Bivol. Bivol himself has said he may possibly entertain the thought of coming down to 168 pounds and fighting Canelo at his own best natural weight, which I would be intrigued to see. Of course, he's going to want to get paid for that. I'm sure he's going to want to get paid a good amount to risk it all and go down and fight Canelo at his actual strongest weight. Now, let's say there is no Bivol rematch in the near future. I think you're looking at you got to if you're Canelo, you got to take these young lions on now at this point because you took that L. You gotta go after Benavidez, Andrade, or Charlo at 168, and maybe you fight them all in that order, or in any order. Personally, I'd like to see him. If I have my pick out of the three of those guys, I'd like to see him against Charlo. Right now, I think that would be a good fight stylistically. When you look at Benavidez, everybody hypes up Benavidez, and they're saying, "Look, Benavidez will get Canelo. Look what Bivol did to him." Different fighters. Bivol is a much more calculated technical boxer, solid 1-2. He had the 7 pound weight advantage on top of that. When you look at Benavidez, though he lost, I think he lost his belt to the scales at 168. Uh, you're going to be looking at a guy who has no defense. He's an action fighter. He can throw a bunch of punches and bunches, but when you look at what Canelo does best, counter punch and hit with power shots, I think you're looking at a target for Canelo that would be pretty easily exploited. I think Canelo would get I would predict a KO in that fight, just because I don't think Benavidez is sharp enough defensively. Canelo would be able to establish a jab a little bit more, which I thought was a mistake. And if you've seen on Instagram, Mike Tyson was stating that fact today too on his Instagram, saying that Canelo should have used his jab more to make Bivol a little bit honest. I agree. I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference though, but I mean, it would have made him a little bit more honest because Canelo was swinging for the fences early, and when you're swinging for the fences, that's what's going to get you tired out pretty damn quick. So it wasn't the best fight, Bivol, though he did win the fight convincingly. It wasn't like he was hurting Canelo at any point, really. I didn't see Canelo rocked at any point. There was no knockdowns. Canelo was dodging a lot of it. I will give him that. But I don't think there was any controversy beyond this in regards to this fight, as Canelo was definitely outpointed. Uh, the ones and two was solid enough. Bivol was not throwing any hooks. I don't think I see him through an uppercut all night. He did a little bit of body work, but Canelo needed to do a lot more body work. If you see after the fight, Canelo did fuck up Bivol's arm. He had it all jacked up, and even in the interviews afterwards, Bivol stated that Canelo, as he has done in the past, was targeting the opponent's arm, and he did it. He did a pretty damn good job of fucking up Bivol's arm and making it, I guess, taking a little bit out of some of Bivol's punches. Now, I'm not clamoring for a rematch because, as I stated, it wasn't the most entertaining, exciting, off the hook kind of fucking fight. It was a decent boxing match, but Canelo just I don't know, I don't know if he wasn't ready for the weight. Maybe he should have took a fight or two in between. To go up and fight a champion like that is bold and a little bit reckless. I mean, I feel he should have took a tune-up fight. Now, people are gonna say, "Well, he went up there 175 and fought Sergey Kovalev and knocked him out." That's different though. Sergey Kovalev was at the end of his rope. He was in his advanced stages, and I believe he's a known alcoholic, and so he's struggling with that, and I think he was definitely not the technical fighter that Bivol is, and Bivol is in his prime. Uh, so it's two totally different fights. So I feel like Canelo, the smart thing would have been to take one in between. You could have did a tune up with some of these other cats, but I think in the long term of things, I think Canelo needs to stay away from 175 altogether. Just fight at 168. That's your best. You've already gone up from 154 to 160 to 168. You really don't got nothing. You really didn't have anything really to prove at 75, in my opinion. Um, because the fights that people were clamoring for anyway were Charlo, Andrade, Benavidez. So this fight was dangerous, and the risk wasn't worth the reward, in my opinion. Because even if he got that hands on that 175 belt, somehow beat Bivol, he's looking at better Bivol, who I think may be a little bit stronger and more powerful than Bivol. May not be as technical, but I think he's definitely a stronger cat for Canelo to face. So he would have been staring down that train eventually. So I don't want to say it was a huge mistake. We don't want these fighters to stop daring to be great. In the UFC, you get a lot of these, the best fight the best, which I give the UFC a lot of props for. There's not as much ducking. I mean, there is some. I'm not going to say there's none, but there's not as much ducking. Dana is the emperor of that shit. He calls all the shots, the dictator, whatever you want to call him. So he'll make the fights happen, which is good and bad. Bad for the fighters, good for the fans, I guess, because the fighters don't get paid shit in the UFC, which is why you got Jake Paul jumping in to poach. And oh, by the way, Jake Paul running his mouth as usual, talking about he's ready for Canelo in 3 years, blah 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 blah. After this fight, which I think is totally some BS. Clarissa Shields, the GWOT, greatest woman of all time, chimed in on that today on Instagram. Let me see if I could pull that up on the phone. She had stated, let me get this quote. I don't want to misquote her. Let's see. Where's this shit at? She put, I find it disgusting how everyone is slandering at Canelo and using his loss to say mean things, question his boxing legacy, skills, and even make fun of him. It's fucking weird because the dude dared to be great. There is no shame in trying. And I totally agree with that, as I stated. If we want these fighters to make these big fights, these mega fights, dare to be great, we can't really shame them for taking a close L. I mean, I wouldn't say close, for taking an L, getting outboxed. I mean, at least he didn't get knocked out. For taking an L against a pretty goddamn good champion, undefeated champion at his own weight class. Um, so I think I don't hold it too bad for Canelo. I mean, I think he'll be able to erase most of this by taking care of business and beating the guys he's supposed to beat uh, at 168. Which is the fights everybody's clamoring for. So let's give the people what they want. If I'm Canelo or his advisors, give the people what they want. Take care of business, and you're back in the mix of things for pound number one, depending what happens in that Terrence Crawford and Spence fight, if it ever happens. Um, so some other boxing news. Last time I don't think we got to cover the Valdez Stevenson fight, but that fight went pretty much how I expected it. Stevenson was dominant, able to box beautifully, staying behind the reach and the speed. The speed of Stevenson was incredible in this fight. Great timing. Was able to counter. Was able to beat Valdez in all facets of the game. 1-2 power shots. Valdez defense was not able to. He tried to do the peekaboo, it wasn't working. Stevenson was able to just pick him apart. Dominated the fight as I expected. As I stated on this show before, I feel like Stevenson is gonna be the best of this young lion group from the 130 to 140. You know, the Tanks, the Ryan Garcia, the Loma, the Haney, the Tiafimos. I think he's gonna be better than all of them. And I actually have him in my top. I would say I'd have him like maybe I haven't put my top 10 pound for pound out. I should do that actually, but I would say I'd put him off this win and the Herring win back to back. Pretty impressive wins. I would probably put him maybe as high as number 6 or 7, possibly. But I think the future is bright for that guy. I don't really see anybody at that weight that can mess with him. I'd like to see him go up to 35 and maybe Lomachenko come down to 35. I know that had been mentioned. Possible little super fight. I think that's going to be a damn good fight. But I would pick Stevenson. I think he's got the it factor, solid defensively and offensively, and I would pick him against Haney, and I would pick him against Tank because Tank is too wild and he's shown he's hittable. Same with Haney. Haney's hittable. I think Stevenson at 35 or 40 would have more power than a Devin Haney, personally. Just my opinion. But I would like to have some other guests to bounce that back on co-host. But we'll see if we get Big Leo on here in a little few minutes. If we're still on the boxing topic, which we probably won't be. But we'll see. Any other boxing news? Let's see. Let me see what's on the boxing schedule here in the next coming months before we switch topics. Let's see. Let's go to the ESPN boxing. Pull that shit up right quick. I know we have Tank and speaking of Tank, we have Tank and Raleigh Romero coming up. I think it's this Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get the specifics for you guys. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's May 28th. We have Gervonta Davis versus Rolando Romero. That's going to be on Showtime. May 14th, which is this weekend, we got Jamel Charlo versus Brian Castano. And that's going to be a rematch. The first fight was very entertaining. If you watched it, or if you haven't watched it, I recommend checking it out. I thought Castano should have won the fight, and if not, it should have been a draw. Well, I think it was a draw actually, but I thought Castano won the fight. He was taking it to Charlo. He was hitting him with cleaner shots, harder shots. Charlo looked vulnerable in this fight. It'll be interesting to see how Charlo responds in the second fight. Because if he does want a Canelo payday, he cannot afford to have a performance like he had in the first go round, and that's for sure. He needs to step it up, possibly get a stoppage or a clear cut victory. Because if it's any questionable shit and we got to see a rubber match, you're going to pretty much be out of the Canelo lottery, and other guys are probably going to move up into your slot. Maybe Andrade, maybe Benavidez will jump in there and swoop on that spot. So this is an important fight in the grand scheme of the boxing world coming up this Saturday. It is on Showtime, so definitely check that out. And if you haven't checked out the first fight, go ahead and check that out. Pretty close fight, but I thought Castano did enough to get the win. Charlo seemed like the judges were a little bit in his pocket, possibly PBC. You know how that goes sometimes. June 4th, we got a good matchup, very good matchup. George Kambosos versus Devin Haney taking place in Down Under in the Aussie world. So that's going to be a solid fight, and that one's for the undisputed lightweight title. Kambosos having, I believe, 4 belts, if I'm not mistaken, and Haney having, I think, 1. I could be wrong on that. Fact check me if you want, and slide it into the comments here if you want. As for whom I'm picking in that fight, I'm not even sure yet. I think it's very interesting stylistically. Haney, if he boxes smart and is able to stay away from the power. Hold on, we got Big Leo joining us, co-host here, founder of Gold Dirty Bastards podcast, co-founder.
Yo, what's up? What's cracking?
What's up, man? We're talking a little bit.
Good.
When we paused, I was breaking down the future stuff. But I want to get your opinion on the Canelo fight because it was such a big fight.
Oh yeah,
You get a chance to watch it by chance?
yeah. I had a. I ended up watching it. I ended up had to ordering it too. Um,
So give me your thoughts on the fight itself, and then give me your breakdown on how much you're punishing Canelo for this loss. If you have him out of your pound for pound, I mean not out of, but if you dropped him down to number 2 or 3 in your pound for pound. Personally, I dropped him down to 2,
mhm.
and I put Bud Crawford ahead of him, but I couldn't put Spence. I put Bud. But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and give us your breakdown of your analogy of the fight, your breakdown and views of how this fight went down, and then where you got Canelo pound for pound.
Yeah. So yeah, me and Herb were texting.
Irv Schmerv.
Yeah,
Where's
me and
Irv at?
Herb.
Tell him to bring his ass on the show.
Me and Herb were texting it, and let me see. There was one. I think it was. I think I was in the second round. I think either second, actually in the third round. I had texted him, "Hey, looks like Canelo can get touched in this fight," because you can see that straight off the bat, Biv, Bivol was very disciplined. Uh, he was, he had that jab that was touching Canelo. You could see that it was he kind of Canelo. What I saw was Canelo was respecting that jab. Like, okay, if this dude's touching me, I didn't see Canelo like go off off the bat like the last couple of fights. Like in the first, second, third round, you can already see Canelo's like, oh, this shit. You can already see who's a superior boxer in those matches. Who's the last one he fought? Plant.
Caleb Plant.
Yeah, like you can already see it. He's like, oh shit, Canelo. I mean, I think Plant was a little taller than Bivol.
Yeah,
So
but
I was good.
he didn't have that 7 pounds extra.
Yeah, yeah. So
You could tell that came into play.
hmm yeah, so uh, I did see Canelo. I mean, I thought Bivol wasn't be much taller than Canelo, but there was some height difference, but it wasn't that bad.
Well,
I
on
mean,
the zone it says Canelo at 5'8", Bivol at 6 feet, so that's a pretty decent amount. And
okay, wow.
reach Canelo 70
But
and Bivol 72, so 2 inches of reach and a couple inches, like three
yeah,
three
but
inches of
I seen Canelo fight. He looked huge. Canelo looked huge. You could tell,
looks slow.
he looked huge, and then like I would say, his speed wasn't. I mean, you could tell that dude was not Canelo was not affecting Bivol at all. And you could tell that Canelo was kind of like was kind of like tempting Bivol to go more combos, get a little reckless, maybe get a little sloppy, and then for him Canelo to take advantage of that. But Bivol was very disciplined. He was keeping his measure away from him, but he was still landing. And even the fourth round, after the fourth round, I was like, okay, this fight's gonna get close because I don't see Canelo having that straight dominating the fight as we've seen against these heavier and bigger boxers.
Yeah,
And
and I
then,
think you were texting in the group chat, I think around 6th round maybe. You were
uh,
saying Canelo's probably losing, and I
yeah,
agreed. I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
and then then I switched it up. So me and Irv were going back and forth, and he's like, "Yep, I see it." And then that's when I hopped out with you guys, and I was wanting to see if you guys were seeing the same fight. And then I was like, "This could, yeah, like I said, like this could go." I think Sean Porter was saying that. I think one guest was saying he had Canelo 3-1, and I think Sean Porter said, "Oh, you never know. That could be 1-3 Bivol. I mean 3-1 Bivol." And I could see that
Yeah.
because since it's in Vegas, you know what I'm
I
saying.
wasn't able to score round by round. I was having
Um,
link difficulty, so I had to keep like fucking around with the link a little bit.
okay.
But I knew that Bivol was up. When you texted, I was like, yeah, I agree. Bivol is
hmm
up. And you could already see at that point that Canelo was already gassing.
He was
He was
gassed.
tired. His punches didn't
Hmm
have as much pop on him. I want to say like the 5th or 6th round, you
Yeah,
could already see that Canelo was
and
losing his power and his speed. He was getting a little slower on the release of the punches, and you could tell that he couldn't hurt Bivol.
yeah,
Like he had already hit him with a couple of them uppercuts, and they
it was
staggered Bivol a little tiny bit, but it was like
nothing.
this dude's eating him.
Yeah,
So how much of it do you put on the weight
I
compared to just
I would.
Bivol being a good fighter?
I think when it comes to this heavier, bigger boxers, I
Yeah,
think
weight
Canelo
class for a
weight
reason.
class, yeah. I think Canelo finally found somebody that his power was not going to be, is not going to was not was not going to hurt him as much. As you can see, those body punches that he was trying to land, Bivol was smart. He was moving that arms, and then you could see his arms were the game, were the ones that getting that punishment. As you saw at the end of the fight, I don't know if you saw that it was
Yeah.
all bruised up.
Yeah,
Those
I mentioned
punches,
that earlier.
usually those punches break down, those arms, and those punches actually then start landing on the side, the stomach. Those body punches that we all seen Canelo, straight land, and those are the ones that start, you can tell these boxers are getting hurt. And then, that uppercut that usually throws, it did touch them a couple of times, but nothing like, oh shit. Actually, the one I think there was the 10th or ninth round, I'm not sure. There's one shot that Bivol had landed, and he had Canelo on the ropes. And you could tell if Canelo was not on the ropes, it could have been a possibility he could have dropped him. I don't know if you've seen that. I think I want to say 9th or 10th round. But
I
still,
think
though,
he was just kind of tired.
he got
I don't, I
gas.
don't I don't think he ever really got rocked. Um,
Um,
I think he was more fatigued than
he
anything,
was fatigued,
personally.
and we saw something that we never see. Canelo at the 9th, 10th, 11th round, he had his arms down. We never
Yeah,
see Canelo like that.
and he was throwing hella
Yeah,
slow, and even when he was landing, it was like they have no pop on him. Like I was
it just
watching with my father-in-law, he was saying the same thing. Like they got no pop, he ain't got no
yeah.
pop left.
Mm-hmm.
He's gassed. We were saying
Yeah,
this
he
on
was
around the
gas.
sixth or
Yep.
seventh.
Yeah, you can see
Um,
it.
Now I want to say some of it could be this vegan diet. I'm not gonna make excuses, but
Uh,
fighters that have done this, they've had similar results, if I'm not mistaken.
a lot of boxers, I think a lot of them do that vegan diet. So I wouldn't say, I mean, I wouldn't, could be, but I thought me personally, I think that Bivol was that boxer, that, usually you have you have these fights that I don't know where, they're going to win. And it was, and I'm not going to say that he beat the shit out of Canelo. I would say he beat him, yeah, but like he got his ass whooped. No, I wouldn't say that he got his ass whooped.
But he did get outboxed,
He got
clearly.
outboxed. He got outboxed.
Yeah, but some people
Bivol was,
online are like, "Oh, he got exposed. He got his
I don't
ass
think,
beat." I'm
nah,
like, he lost for
nah.
sure,
And he
but
did, and he
he
did
didn't
something.
really get hurt. He didn't get cut. He didn't get dropped.
Yeah, usually, yeah, you'll see, the pictures of these fighters the following day.
His face was red though during the fight.
But he's usually like always like that. I think, isn't he? I mean, I
Yeah.
just see him like he always red. So, but I mean, overall, I thought it was, it was an exciting fight. Usually, what I'm saying, it's Cinco de Mayo weekend. We watching Canelo, whooping on some dude, or if not, just beating the shit out of them, in 12 rounds. This one was the opposite. Hopefully, he just goes back down to what is it, 168 or something like that, and
168.
or-
That's the right weight
yeah,
for him.
and then if not, what I'm saying, maybe go fight the Charlo brothers. Maybe go fight Benavidez. Go fight Triple G again. The biggest loser of this, I think, is Triple G. Because he was supposed to have a big payday fight with Triple G in September. I don't think that ever got, signed, but I think he's the biggest loser out of this outcome. But I
Joe
was
Rogan, I guess apparently is blaming the
the
vegan
vegan.
diet. He says Canelo shouldn't have ran with that vegan diet. I guess he's Rogan's big on that carnivore diet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how much there is to that. I mean, I'm not gonna say that was the reason, but I
Mm-hmm.
kind of think if you've had so much success in the past, why would you switch to vegan at this point when you're going up for a big fight like
He's
this,
getting
putting on the weight?
older, you know what I'm saying? Probably getting older. They didn't want to get with the whole
I
with
would
the
say
tainted meat again,
he needed that tainted meat in this fight. This dude is a Russian ox.
He needs
Uh,
tainted carnitas or
strong like
something like that.
ox. Strong like ox.
Yeah, yeah, I give Bivol props.
Yeah, see, I was saying on the lead up, I think I was telling people like Bivol ain't
Yeah,
no joke. We
yeah.
even had that whole thing where we blew up on the Canelo post where I was like, Bivol is no joke. Because everybody was complaining about, oh, they're cherry picking.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this ain't no
Nah.
cherry pick. Like Bivol is a beast. Like,
Yeah. I'm not sure if you were able to check out that episode. I mean, speaking about Joe Rogan, the one that he had he just had Mike Tyson for a couple of weeks
I
ago,
seen that
and he
the
said,
first
"Watch
half. I
out."
didn't. Yeah,
And he said something about watch out for Bivol, because I think they're just talking about the upcoming fights, and then Mike was I'm pretty sure he said like watch out for Bivol, dude's discipline, he might give Canelo trouble, so usually these I mean this is one of those fights that Canelo finally fought, found his match, and you know the
uh,
rematch
I
I
don't know
was
if Canelo wins that, but Bivol. I don't know if you heard. Bivol was talking about coming back down to 168 to fight Canelo. He was saying he wants to fight him at his strongest weight, possibly.
wow,
So that would be interesting. I'd be
that
more
would be
interested in that
yeah, that
than
would
at
definitely
75 because I think at 75, Canelo could possibly make adjustments and maybe like take a fight in between to get ready. That's where that was another mistake. I think Canelo and his handlers just kind of like started pumping too much bullshit in his head. Like, oh, you can just go up there and take on the champ. Like, you should have took a tune-up fight if you're going up to a new weight class. I always recommend that. Take that tune-up fight. Give yourself a year to grow into the weight. But sometimes these boxers get a little bit their ego gets the best of them, and I think you could say that. But in a way, I respect him for doing it, but I think he executed it the wrong way. He should have just took his time and fought somebody in between up there at 75 beforehand. Because like I said, he had that Kovalev fight, but that was what, like 3 years ago, and he already been back down to
mhm,
68 for a minute. So I mean, I don't really think that had anything. You know what I mean? That just because he went up there and handled that business had no repercussions on this. So I feel like he should have just had a tune up at that weight. Let me take a quick minute to thank everybody who is tuning in. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe, helps out with the algorithm, and click that notification bell if you want to check out be notified anytime our stuff pops up live on YouTube. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is down below at Gold Dirty Bastards Podcast. And you can check out our link tree. It's right there, and that has all links to all of our social media, all of our media content. So check us out there as well. We usually go Tuesday nights here. We do our thing here, talk a little sports, talk a little bit movies. Sometimes we do hip hop, all that good stuff. So we give it a little 31 flavor type feel. We got a lot of shit popping off.
mhm.
But yeah, definitely check us out. Like, subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Back to this big fight. So let me ask you, we covered the fight. Where do you have Canelo in your pound for pound rankings? How far did you drop him down? Did you drop him down at all?
Uh, um,
And just like I know we haven't done ours per se, but
I
just in your
mean,
head, where do you have him?
I would probably have Crawford one. Even before this fight started, I think I got Crawford one, Canelo two, three. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would say maybe he stays at two, or maybe goes down a couple of spots. I mean, it's not like this is affects his his pound for. I mean overall record, maybe pound for pound for right now. But Canelo's the type of dude that he could go, he could go back, he could go into, one of these, let's say 168 or whatever. And like I said, fight the Charlo brothers, fight
Well, he can't fight that
Benavidez,
one. The other one's at 54.
Benavidez,
Bud wants to fight the
uh
54 one.
what's his name, Andrade, whatever, what's up, Berlanga, I don't know, just
Oh
fight
yeah,
all these.
Berlanga.
Yeah,
He don't want
fight,
that shit.
fight all
Berlanga will
these
get.
dudes, you know what I'm saying, and just chill there, you know what I'm saying, because Canelo's what, in his 30s now.
I don't want to see the GGG fight though. I don't need to see that again. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
wouldn't want to see yeah, after that last fight that I seen the Triple G is not
And
just
Canelo ain't gonna get no credit if he goes down there and beats Triple G. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's old," so
yeah,
you might as well go with these young lions. Get these
yeah,
dudes out
just
the
yeah.
way.
Yeah, and then that's and I was and then and just get back to that plan, fight early, was it fight late December, early January, fight again in May, September, get on that back on that hype, and you get back on that top pound for pound list.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
I really don't see like it taking a big toll. I mean, we saw that this was a challenging, a fight for him just by him going all going up all these weights. So I mean, he tried to do something, saying that we haven't seen, in hot boxing history. So
yeah. And I want to see
I
this out
can't,
of the younger cats.
yeah,
I want to see Ryan Garcia fight Devin Haney. I want to see Ryan Garcia fight. Tank. I want to see Tank fight Tiafimo. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
Haney fight Tiafimo. I want to see Shakur fight them all. I want to see all these dudes fight each other. So Canelo is giving them the right blueprint. But the problem is the fucking fans are bagging him on it. So these guys are going to be more hesitant still. They're going to be like, oh, look what happened to him. You guys talk hella shit about Canelo, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to put more reservations in their head. And we may not even get these big fights because of the way the fans are treating Canelo off this loss on social media, mainly social media.
Yeah,
You know, everybody got these crazy opinions.
Yeah.
Canelo's a bum now, apparently, which is ridiculous.
Nah.
But I don't know. Like I said, I got Crawford number one.
Yeah.
I had him leapfrogging Canelo.
Okay.
But I still got Canelo like 1A.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there with. But like I said, if the Spence and T Bud Crawford fight does take place, you are going to be looking at the winner of that leapfrogging Canelo and putting a big gap in between.
I said that fight happens.
If that fight happens, we don't know. They're both saying they want it, but you know, proof is in the pudding. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not going to hold my breath. We've been down this road in boxing before, so we'll see. We'll see if we get there. That's a fight that I've been clamoring for the last 3 years. I also wanted Crawford versus Manny for the last 4 years, but Manny ducked him. I feel he ducked him. But you know, it's funny. He was going to fight Spence, but he never really wanted that smoke with Crawford. So I think that says a lot right there about where Crawford and Spence are at, because I have Crawford above Spence, and I think when they finally do get into that ring, I think Spence is you could see a similar fight like this Bivol Canelo fight where he kind of just outboxes him and schools him, because he's so much more dynamic, so much more technical, and can do so many more things than what Spence can do. But anyway, let me see. I was looking at the before you jumped on, I was looking at the schedule. Let's just recap it one more time coming up. See. My internet's slow tonight.
And did you hear anything about Canelo wanting to fight Usyk?
Yeah, that was bullshit from the get. When I was hearing that before the fight, I was like, I didn't want Canelo when they were talking about him going to fight up Makubu at 190. I was like, I don't know about it. I didn't even want him going up to 75. I even DM'd him back then, and I was like, I don't want you going up to 75, Canelo. He never responded, but shit. I told you, Canelo. Listen to GDBZ. We be knowing our shit, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's up, Phil?
Yo.
What's up, man? We finally got around to it. I'm feeling slightly better. Leo was under the weather as well.
Shit, hell yeah. But I got that nasty ass cough that's going on right now. Fucking my sinus still kind of fucked up. Hella mucus and shit, blood.
Yeah, I got the same.
Well, it sounds like it's like, you know, the hands of the clock go around and touch every number, because I got that fucking nose shit right now myself.
You got that shit too? Man, that shit ain't no joke either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good. It was just the nose. I was congested like a motherfucker last couple. I went and smoked with the homie and shit, and then before you know it, I come home and it's all, you know, traffic jam.
How many days are you into it?
2. But I'm pretty much
last minute. I would say take that elderberry and that zinc.
Yeah, no. Well, basically, we did some Zycam, and I dropped some echinacea in the tea that I got.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, echinacea is definitely the good shit. You constantly blow your nose and get your fucking sleep. That's be honest with you, all the shit you take is good, but you ain't getting that sleep,
rest, man.
You need
I
that
was
shit.
out too, man. I had a 3-day stretch. I was sleeping my ass off.
That's good.
That's why we couldn't do the show last week. I was out of it.
I
considered it Wednesday night and Tuesday or Wednesday night, and I was like, man, I can't do it.
This shit hit me last week.
I barely made it to Doctor Strange on Thursday, man. I was tired in that shit.
Shit, that shit fucked me up, man. I missed. Yeah, I didn't get to go see Joe Coy.
I missed out too on that shit.
Yeah. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law went and caught it. They said they had a great time.
Yeah, my wife ended up going with her friend, one of her best friends. So
we had tickets. We had tickets for Saturday, and the Warriors fucked that up because they had to move it to Thursday.
But yeah,
we didn't have no babysitter or nothing, so he was like, "Fuck it, let's just sell them."
Me and wifey seen him twice already, so wifey's Filipino, so we definitely gonna go see Joe Coy. You know what I mean? But it's definitely was he puts on a good show no matter what. You know what I
She
mean?
says she had.
There's another one. I think in October we might try to hit up in
Oh no! I got my
Bratton.
tickets. I got my tickets punched for Wu-Tang in October, baby.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
At the
you
Coliseum.
got yours already? I gotta get
Wu-Tang and
my
Nas.
Nas.
Wu-Tang and Nas. Yep.
Yep.
So
I need to go get that. I was telling Nip, let's go. I think
I seen him a few times. I'm good.
My boy AG wants to go, and my boy Carlo too.
I might change my mind, but
I mean, they did. You was at the third Chambers tour, the Three Chambers tour, so that was cool. But this is,
I
this
think that
everybody.
was actually a little bit better than when all of them performed. Those three had
Which
hella
one did
energy.
Which one did you go to when they all performed?
Was it like 2000?
Oh, that one went with Ray.
13. Well, yeah, me and Ray.
The Warfield. That
was that like 2014?
I think the hieroglyphics opened up for them.
I think it's dope, but it's just like when there's too many of them, it kind of it can be a little bit overwhelming. With the three of them, it was ill. I liked it a little bit better.
I didn't go to that one.
I got you. Yeah, no, the last, yeah, no, okay. So you went with Ray and a different one. So I went with Ray when they came to the mezzanine and Jack opened for him. And that actually, you know what?
I went to a Raekwon at the mezzanine back.
I was happy as hell that I went to that shit because we got to see the Jack in person, busted down, bro. And you know how tall Ray's ass is, you know what I'm saying? So we're close to the stage, right? And Jack is walking back and forth, and he's cut. This is right around when Tear Gas came out.
Okay.
The album. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And so he was out there pumping it, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, I believe Hustler was in jail. You know what I mean? And then out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, he pulls him on the stage. I'm like, whoa, what? The Hustler's here? That was dope as hell. And then, you got what's the name on stage in the background, Burner, just, constantly handing him blunt after blunt. And he passed two of them to Ray. And, he was like, pass them around. You know what I mean? So how often can you say, you smoked with one of the best, one of the greatest alive? You feel me? And that was dope. Now, the drawback to that specific one was Ray thought that alcohol actually is made out of water. And yeah, he didn't really last, bro. So at the end of the night, it's me and Big Mar basically trying to pull him out of the car and get him upstairs to grandma, you know what I mean? So he doesn't, but it was a whole lot of funny getting that man out of the car because he was like fighting us we grabbed him by his arms and both tried to heave-ho him out. And then his head went to the left and just caught the fucking door sill and shit. Fucking hilarious. I love you, Ray.
That's some Ray.
Hey, we've all been there.
Stories, huh?
We've all fucking been there.
Now we missed the Woo, you know what I'm saying, because we couldn't. He was done, so we had to get him out of there. But I'm saying, thank God he had enough, mind left to keep on his legs. Because if Ray would have went down, there's no way we would have got his ass out of there. So, but it was good. We had a great time, you know what I'm saying? And then I seen them a couple more times after that. I think they're great when they feed off each other properly. The last time I seen them all together is when Street Life took over for ODB, and that was at the Fillmore. Okay. So that was when I seen them all together. But since then, it was the third Chamber tour, and that was live. You know what I mean? It was definitely good.
For sure. All right. Well, let's get underailed because that was a dope conversation. But
right on.
Like we said earlier, we draw some hip hop here and there. You know what I'm saying? Little hip-hop segment.
We touch everything, baby. We touch all corners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now that I know you're going, for sure I'm grabbing tickets.
All right. Sounds good, bro.
I might change my mind around that time.
I see the topic of discussion is Canelo Bivol. I only actually caught the last 3 rounds. And I had heard that did he get dropped in the 8th or was that the 7th?
No, he never got dropped at all.
So he never got dropped. Okay. No. All right. So from what I understood from watching rounds 9 through 12, his heart was there. You know what I mean? Canelo's heart was there. You can never question his heart. Mm-hmm. It just seemed like Bivol just outboxed him because I was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit combos for Bivol, and then Canelo will come back with hard 3-hit combo, you know what I'm saying, and stay in his face. Mm-hmm. I give him his propers for that one, but it just seemed like he got beat by a guy was just a little bit too big for him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked the idea of him going to 75. Like at this point, he's pound for pound. He holds all the cards. You don't have to go if Bivol wants to fight. You make Bivol come to you. I mean, you're the
That's
top
correct.
dog.
That's right.
So you make these 160-pound guys, Charlo, whoever the fuck wants, you make them come to you. But I mean, I understand why he did it because he's got balls. So I'll
Yeah,
give him
yeah,
that. But
yeah.
sometimes that can get you in fucking trouble. And
It,
that was the
it
case.
kind of pretty much was the case, I think, from what everybody was telling me and from the minuscule serving that I saw, it seemed like that was what was going on. It's just the guy just was a little too big for him.
And skills.
And
Let's
yeah,
not take that
and
away because
very skilled,
both.
and
Yeah.
very skilled. I agree with you on that completely because the guy didn't look like, you know what I'm saying, he was out there throwing one hitters. You know what I mean? It wasn't just one punch and then another punch here and then another punch there. He was bringing them, punches and punches, and he was trying to do damage. I give that guy props. I didn't know too much about Bivol, to be honest with you. Until this fight, and he made a believer in me. I gotta give him props. I think Canelo probably would have. He probably, if he had a little more time to acclimate to that kind of body weight. And in saying that, I kind of
That's
am
what I said
remembering.
too, man.
I'm kind of remembering what and over to UFC what GSP would say when everybody asked, "Would you ever fight Anderson Silva?" And he said he would. He was like, "But you're gonna have to give me time because I want to go up naturally." You know what I mean? It's one thing to eat all this food and put the carbs in there and all the calories and just bulk up and shit like that. That's one thing, you know what I mean? But you're not giving your body time to acclimate to being at that weight. And when you do that, it can seriously screw up a bunch of things. Your timing. It can screw up your your wind. You know what I mean? It can screw
Yeah.
up your power. I mean, yeah, you might have more because you got more weight behind it, but if you don't know how to push
But
that
at
bull.
5'8", he's a short cat for 175. Canelo.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. I mean, at my lightest, I was 169. Most of my life I've been 200, and above. But at my lightest, I was 169, and I could jump. My ceilings are 12 feet. And I could jump, and I could, with the tip of my finger, I could touch that shit. You know what I mean? So that was pretty decent. You know what I mean? At my lightest. Guys at 5'8", the BMI for us, we're supposed to be at like 150.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, him being at that weight and then, and only in like 3-4 months, that's got to do something to you. I mean, it's definitely going to mess with your stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Completely going to mess with your stamina.
And on top of that, I don't know if you heard, they said he went on the vegan diet for this fight, which he had never done in his
Whoa.
career.
Wow.
So I was asking Leo, how much do you think that could come into play? Not giving him excuses, but do you think that
Well,
could actually be a factor?
because so when you eat meat, red meat, white meat and whatever have you, you're going to get hormones out of that meat. You know what I mean? And it is naturally going to make you just a little bit more
Fierce,
savage, fierce. You know what I mean? Whatever words you like. So I would say that plays a part a bit. I don't know how much so. I remember, and this is going back to UFC. I remember what's this cat's name?
Yeah, I kind of recall a few fighters going on it and taking L's.
Well,
If I'm not mistaken,
he got booted, but he didn't get booted because he lost. He got booted because he was so damn boring, and he would just basically be the lead blanket on you. I can't remember the guy's name, but I believe it was his last 2 fights in the UFC. He went completely vegan, and he said it made him, he felt great. Some people, they get good energy from it.
I
I
think
still
Bradley was vegan too for a while, but
right.
it's hard to tell because he didn't really have any power before or after.
Okay.
No diss. I'm not dissing, but he just
No,
was
I got you. I
he
got you.
was a fighter that wasn't known for his power like
Right.
that. So,
And I think it's something to be said a little bit in that because pound for pound, buck for buck, I think you're going to get more protein shots out of meat than you will out of vegan. And I know a lot of vegans would argue the point because you got beans, you've got other things that are just packed with protein, and it's pea protein and all kinds of other shit that you can use to substitute. But I think if you're in a sport like this, you know what I'm saying, and you can quote me or not quote me because a lot of other people have said the same thing. in a sport like this, I think you need a little bit of that meat just for an extra like dose of aggression, you know, because you are definitely you're in a ring and you're basically trying to put your fist through the guy's head. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that does come into play. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do
we can't
know.
make the excuse for him, but it could have.
Right.
Let's say it could have. We won't say
Right.
definitively.
I agree. You know what I mean? So it's a tough one to call. Some people say yes, some people say no. A lot of the guys in the gym when
I
they
just
were
want to know what the
competing,
rationale was behind it. Like, why are you switching up? You're going up in weight. Why would you switch it up then at that point? That's what kind of is questionable to
the only
me.
thing I can think of is that they wanted to go up clean. You know, they didn't want to go up dirty heavy. You know what I'm saying? By just putting a lot of empty, sugary carbs and shit like that into him.
Okay.
That would have really affected his stamina and and stuff like that. So I think in their mind, they're like, if we go up vegan style, it's all natural. It's easier for your body to process. You'll get all the stuff that you're going to need. You know what I'm saying? All the nutrients you're going to need for bulking. But, it won't come with all that garbage. You know what I'm saying? That you would do otherwise, like how football players, put on the pounds. They just sit in front of the fucking buffet and they eat that shit up. You know what I mean? Whatever's there, we're eating it because we got to put on weight and then we go hit the gym. We hit the weights, we hit the pile. So, I mean, that's cool and all if, you're relying on a 30, 40-second burst and then you're chilling for like a minute or two and then another 30, 40-second burst. And, that's cool and all with that. But if you're, trying to, expend properly over, 40, 50 minutes in a 12-round fight, you're going to need, proper, I'm saying, energy burn, you know what I mean? Or else, you burn out your arms, you burn out your legs, and then you got nothing, So I think maybe that was probably the line of thinking, but who knows, because he must have hired a nutritionist for this.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I really couldn't
Might
say,
want to
but
fire that cat.
yeah, right. So I mean, that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to the timing, of the diet switch, for this fight.
Now, you say you didn't watch the whole fight, but that's okay for my next question because I was just
Right.
going to ask you. I asked Leo and I answered myself already. Now, where do you put him pound for pound? Do you drop him down? Do you leave him where he's at? Do you drop him down 1 or 2 slots? Just
Canelo?
where are you putting him? Yeah.
Oh no. He didn't. Okay. So it's a lot like with these other guys, like Holloway when he tried to go, or who was it? Recently that tried to go for a second title. I don't. Oh, Izzy Adesanya. He went for the second
Oh, okay.
title.
When he fought Jan, yeah.
Yeah, and Jan crushed him pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He just, he didn't crush him, but he
I kind of think
basically
I
he
thought Izzy might have
yeah
won that, but that's another
he
tale for another day.
right. He negated him basically. Let's just say that. So in that retrospect, you're going for another title. You know what I'm saying, to get more accolades, and that's cool and all. But yo, you cleaned out a division. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole division. And then you went to another division and you kind of started cleaning that one out. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, I don't think it really drops him too far from anything, to be honest. He still has pretty much all his titles. He went to go get Bivol's title and he didn't get it. But he never lost any of his in the process. So I don't see that as being much of a drop. He's pretty much still where he should be. If you want, I mean, if you really want to be like a stickler about it, I guess you could say Crawford, leapfrog
Yeah, I
him.
put Crawford. I got Crawford leapfrogging
I
him.
mean, I guess you could say
Not
that.
penalizing Canelo, but at the same time, you do got 2 losses and Crawford got none. You could
Right,
say Canelo got a better resume, better opponents,
right,
but Crawford just put out Sean Porter, who nobody has stopped.
right.
So for
And
me, yeah,
the other fight might materialize with him and
Spence.
Errol. So that right there would be another feather in the cap, which you could say is okay. He's above Canelo now. You
That
know what
was
I
my
mean?
point. Is that the winner of that fight was most likely going to leapfrog him in the eyes of many anyway.
Right, right.
So going up there and making this risk really might not have been that much of a factor when it's all said and done anyway.
In my opinion, that's how I look at it. I don't really think he's lost much of anything. He maybe lost a little bit of steam because he was just choo-choo training through everybody. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at it in that retrospect, I don't really think he's lost any stature, to be honest with you.
And the last time when Canelo lost was against Mayweather 9 years
Right,
ago. So
right.
we can see where this might be heading. Maybe even looking at
Exactly.
another 6-year run where he
Right.
doesn't take another L.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. That's like you're saying. Yeah, that fight with him and Mayweather. I mean, Canelo's career got much better.
Oh, he got
Maybe
a
he learned,
boost. Yeah,
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 maybe out of this one, maybe he learned something.
Stay at your own weight. Just
yeah,
Just
clean house.
yeah.
yeah. Yep. Yep. He ain't got too much. He ain't got nothing to prove. You know what I mean? Just right now, if anything, he should just be taking on guys that people are keep loving to say that. Oh yeah, he's ducking him or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
You
what I was
know,
saying. Like, forget the GGG fight. Skip that one because that's a lose. That's a lose for him. If even if he beats Triple G, all they're gonna
right?
say is Triple G's old. So go after these cats. They're saying they're scared. Or go after Benavidez. Go after Charlo. Go after
Yeah, yeah,
Andrade.
yep.
And
I agree. I agree.
knock them out one by one, or
Yep,
beat them one by one.
yep. I think those are the fights to make for him. They're good money fights. You know what I mean, and they're legacy fights because that'll just add more and more to his already brimming history. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with that. Yeah, yeah. I think
All
that's
right.
it's
Well,
around about.
let's switch gears a little bit. Stay in the fight realm. We'll go with some UFC 274.
Mhm.
I don't know if did you get a chance to catch that?
I caught some of that as well. I didn't
So
catch them all. You know what I mean? I was,
I seen. Let me tell you the ones. Let me see. What did I see? I seen Oliveira and Gaethje.
right,
I didn't see much of the Namajunas and Esparza because that was on like right when Canelo was on.
right.
So I was kind of like I was
Yeah, I was
looking, but I
cutting back and
wasn't
forth.
really.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
and I
Yeah.
did see the Chandler and Ferguson, and that shit, that knockout.
And
Chandler is a fucking dog. I've said it before.
mm,
You may best him, but he's gonna fucking you're gonna eat some
Hmm.
shots fucking around with Michael Chandler.
in my
Um,
honest assessment of Chandler, he is basically the Bellator Justin Gaethje. He's going to
yeah,
come at you. He's going to swing hard at you.
very similar.
You're going to have to put him on his ass. He's not going to stop. He's a pressure fighter for sure. And the guy's just like he's built like a little Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? He's got a really low center of gravity, so he's hard to get up off his feet. But the way to get him is to get him into a brawl and have him pissed so that he screws up and all the the technique and everything goes out the window because he's a very technical guy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And that's the way
he
I
was
see
coming
him.
off of 2 losses, but there were
Yeah,
two
no, they were
losses
high
where
level.
it could have been
Yeah,
it was a
mhm,
drag out.
exactly. Yeah, he
And
could have
either of
easily
the
won this
guys could
fight.
have got knocked out. Whereas
Yeah,
Ferguson was coming off, I think, either
4,
4 losses.
3 losses. This is the fourth
But
one.
he'd looked
Yeah.
terrible. So I kind of figured this was gonna happen. But in this extremely crazy front kick, Steven
That was
Seagal
cold.
kick
Oh,
of an
man.
Anderson Silva
That
kick,
was cold.
I did not see that coming. I thought maybe he'd drop him with the right or left hook and put him out that way. But I did not see. I wonder if there was odds on that shit because nobody's seen that
The
front kick coming. And
That's
the
that was nasty. He was out immediately, hit his face
yeah.
on the
You
ground.
see,
yeah,
you
yeah,
seen that slow motion and how
yeah,
they all that
He
oh
looked
man,
like an old ass man when
yeah,
the foot hit
yeah.
his face.
he look yeah. He like
So
that,
I
Maniac's
would,
animation shit,
yeah,
like clay
yeah,
and shit. Like,
yeah.
it was
Like
like
claymation, right?
I was like, whoa,
Clay
shit. His
face.
ears were here, his chin was here. This is some
Yeah,
old shit.
yeah,
I thought they doctored that shit, but that shit was
Nah,
shit was a
yeah, that's
real
what I thought
yeah,
picture.
too. I was like, no, that's an
right.
actual photo. I was like,
No,
oh
that
He
was
looked
yeah,
shit.
that
20
was
years older.
legit.
Fuck
That was
that,
legit
man.
the way he looked, man. The the complete shock and left field hit from, what I'm saying, that kick, I think it was on the same exact level as when Anderson knocked out
Vitor.
Vitor. It was like the same. Nobody saw that coming at all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the differences in them kicks were really like stark. You could see the difference. So Anderson, he front kicked him right in his face. You know what I'm
He
saying?
got
Like
him
right here in the lips.
and Chandler got him on the chin, right?
Yeah, he got him on the the
Like
nerve
right here,
cluster underneath the chin, and
Yeah.
so that's why he was
right
out
there. Oh hell
completely.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right away. Yeah, push that thumb underneath that chin spot right next to you in the inside of your jaw, and you'll feel that, dude. That shit
Yeah.
is no joke, bro. That's a nerve cluster in there. That's why he was gone the second that shit hit him, and why when Anderson basically did his to Vitor,
He
Vitor
had to
was
hit him
still
again,
kind of
right? You
there.
had to punch him too, right?
Yeah, because he caught him right in the face, like, you know what I'm saying,
And he
like right
finished by
here.
hammer fist. Is that how he
Yeah,
finished
and
it?
then he got
Okay.
on him and then he finished the drill, right? So I gotta say, Tony looked pretty decent in the first round. He was moving,
Yeah, he rocked him, right?
he was hitting, yeah, he
He
was
rocked him with a
swinging. Yeah,
cleaver.
he was holding his own. It looked like, the Tony from back in the day. It's just when you take a year off, and that's what he did. He was coming off a year layoff. He wanted to get his mind together and his mind right and all that shit. And I thought that in that first round, it looked like he rediscovered something. And I was holding out hope. I mean, be honest with you, a lot of these fights, when they match guys together and you see the fight, you're like, oh shit, I can't wait to see that. I don't have a favorite in none of those fighters. I just want to be shocked. You know what I mean? Like most of
Mhm.
us. And when I saw this fight announced, I was like, no, this is going to be a barn burner. And it lived up to it. It was. It just was a lot quicker than everybody
I
thought.
personally, I was going for Chandler.
Really.
I don't really,
Yeah.
I don't really like Ferguson, but I respect him. He's a
Right.
beast, but he's just a weird fucking dude.
He is, well, if you ever watched that Ultimate Fighter that he was on, he is a little
Yeah, I
out
watched that shit. Yeah,
there. Yeah, he's a little out
he was
there.
one of them weird dudes. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
kind of going for
completely.
Chandler,
Right.
but it
I
was a
get
sick
it.
ass. It was a good fight. I mean, shit, no
But
complaints.
on your point, to your point, I tell you, it's funny when you say that because I told my wife the same thing. I was like, the two losses that he has, you know what I mean, are a high level competition, and they were this fucking close to going his
It was
fucking way.
Gaethje and Oliveira, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
remember he
I seen them
almost
both.
knocked out Oliveira. He almost
Hmm.
knocked him out. Same thing with Gaethje. He almost knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy to see how that fight ended. But it was that close, y'all. You know what I mean? It was like
Mhm.
literally this fucking close. You know what I'm saying? And it could have went his way. He could be the champ right now. You know?
Yeah, no
So
doubt.
no, you can't look past him at all. You know what I'm saying? And so I know he was totally up for this fight. You know what I mean? And he really wanted to go in there and make a statement because I don't think they would have cut him, to be honest with you, if he lost this fight, because that would have been three in a row. But if you look at the murderer's row that he fought, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yo, Dana, you know what I'm saying? You kind of got to give him another shot. Plus, he's a moneymaker. People want to see him fight.
Mhm.
So that was definitely pretty dope, in my opinion. Oh, my God. You want to move on to the
Oliveira Gaethje.
girls fight?
Oh, see, I didn't see it. You're gonna have to carry that one because I didn't
Okay.
see it. I
So
barely seen any of it.
put it to you both, brothers. This
I
is
heard it
all
was one
you.
of the worst fights ever.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this: my girl and her sister were up for that fight. This is the only reason they really wanted to watch. Also to watch,
Yeah, because I love Rose.
um,
Rose is always
Road the
entertaining. Well,
Badass.
Mhm.
Road the
almost
Badass.
Mhm.
always, I
Right.
guess.
So they also, my girl was really up to watch Ortega's girl fight. I can't remember Tracy. I think
Oh,
her name.
Cortez,
Yeah,
right?
Tracy Cortez. Yeah, and that's Brian Ortega's girl.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
went in there and she did a pretty damn good plan. She worked herself out, and she looks like she's going to be up in the mix too pretty soon. So my girl was happy with that fight, and then Rose and Carla got up there, and all I heard was it sounded like after a while like it was us watching the Niners, blow a lead to fucking Titans. You know what I mean? Last year, it was nothing but what the fuck? What are we watching? What are you guys gonna fight? Hello, come on, move, move, move.
Mhm.
And that it was nobody wanted to engage. It was just basically like that. Carla got a couple takedowns. If you want to say that she actually was the one that did try to force a bit of a fight, yes. Rose was basically doing what certain champs do, where like, no, I'm not gonna play your game. You're gonna come to me, and I'm gonna play my game, which is cool. But if you're gonna do the counter striking thing, you gotta swing. You know what I mean? You got to counter strike. Rose looked like Carla would come in, you know what I mean? She would sidestep, she would circle out, and then she would get away. She would reestablish herself and then, kind of move in close, but never threw anything really.
weird.
I don't know what was in her mind, but this is one thing with Rose that everybody needs to know. If Rose comes to the arena, you know what I'm saying? Might not be the greatest fight. But if Thug Rose comes to the arena, it's going to be quick. It's going to be over fast, and she's going to be like a little ninja. And unfortunately, this fight, Thug Rose didn't show up.
Mhm.
Last fight I saw when she was with Zhang Wei Li, Thug Rose showed up, knocked her the fuck out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? In like
I
10
want the
seconds.
big money. I had a nice parlay on that shit.
Right, right. So I mean, that's just the thing with Rose. I think sometimes
Wait, did
she
she
let
knock her out both times? She knocked her out the first one. The second one was decision.
The
But
second
Horn
one,
knocked her out both times,
yeah,
right?
yeah. No, I don't think she knocked her out both times.
Okay.
I think she whooped on Joanna twice like that. Or was that saying Wei Lee that knocked her? I can't remember it. They all blur together after a while. But basically, with that there, sometimes Rose will let the moment get a little too big for her. And that's what I noticed with her. Even though she has Pat Barry in her corner to keep her, honest. You know what I mean? To let her know
Man,
what's
that's a
going on.
whole nother story, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But you know
just heard
what?
some shit about. I was like, I never knew that.
What about her and Barry?
They were saying they're calling him a groomer. He was messing with her when she was like 16, and he was her.
Uh,
Yeah, but anyway, that's the whole. We ain't
well, hey, I mean, I'm
gonna.
not good with that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but and obviously it worked for them because they still together. I don't
Yeah.
know. I really don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've never been, the one to play in the cradle. That's just never been my style. Period. You know what I mean? And I do kind of look down on people that do that kind of shit. But hey, if you guys stay together your whole life, then hey, maybe you were supposed to meet that way. Um, Either way, regardless, I think that, and I heard something from John McCarthy today. Big John McCarthy said the same thing, and I have totally agreed with this from day one. You never, I don't give a shit who you are. You don't tell your fighter that they're winning. You know what I mean? You don't do that. You know what I mean? Because it's too easy for them in that
Yeah.
moment to think about coasting.
How many
You know what I
fights have
mean?
we all seen
Yeah.
where we're like, oh, they're win. Come on,
Across,
we're you
across
fought, but
multiple combat
I've never
sports.
fought in any kind of shit like that.
Right.
So, but if I was a trainer, man, dude, I would always tell him,
Never.
you
Yeah.
better fucking not let it get in the hands of the
Yeah.
judges. You better
Yeah.
fucking step on
Yeah.
that
Yep.
gas.
That's right.
I think we could be possibly in the fight, but you better
Yeah.
fucking swing for the fences. I mean, we've all
You,
seen people get robbed so much
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
that you would
supposed to
think they would
go in.
instruct their guys or girls, you know?
In my opinion, you're gonna go. You're supposed to go into every round like you're down, or at
Mhm.
least like, okay, this round it's a new fight. It's the start of a new fight. Next round's the start of a new fight. The following round up to that is the start of a new fight. And you go in there like you've got something to prove. You know what I mean? Or you go in there and you make sure that you impose your will on somebody. You don't have to freaking. We've all seen with the Diaz brothers go in there and do. You know what I mean? They know how to pace themselves, but they never ever stop fighting. You
They
know what I
never
mean?
gas, man. Those dudes are
Exactly.
like,
They stay in the fight, they stay with you. But the thing about them, which makes them so dangerous, is they don't put everything behind every single punch. You know what I'm saying? They wear you down, and then when they know they got you hurt, that's when these bombs come. You know what I mean?
hey,
And then
Leon Edwards. They same. That was
exactly,
exactly what they did in the last.
that's the smartest way to do it. You know what I mean? You pace yourself properly. If you're gonna be in a gunfight, then hey, you're gonna be in a gunfight. Nothing you really can do about that. You better hope that the training helped get you ready for that. But if you follow those guys' blueprint, you can win tons of fights. You know what I mean? And you'll be in every one to the end. It just, you got to remember that this is the fight. The guy over there, he's there for a reason, just like you are, because you guys are the best of the best. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So don't sell yourself short by saying, "Hey, I already banked 2 rounds. I can take care of this." What happened when Dominic Reyes fought John Bones? He whipped him up for 3 rounds. He outboxed him 3 rounds. The last 2 rounds, he got worked up. And what happened? John won, which was ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't give a shit what anybody says. That was a robbery, pure and blatant. But he won. And at the end of the fight, I mean, that's all anybody's really going to remember. So in
Yeah,
my
no,
opinion, I think that's what he screwed her.
I kind of thought that what's his name, big ass Swedish cat.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. The first one, the
I
first.
thought that he got him the
Yeah,
first one too.
I believe that. I believe that as well. He was moving. He was sticking. He
Was it
was
Olaf's? What is this?
shucking. He was doing it all. You know what I mean? And
Alexander.
yeah,
Gustafson. There
Gustafson.
you go. There you
Gustafson. He worked him out, man. I mean, hey, at the end of the fight, they both went to the hospital. But guess who stayed? It wasn't Gustafson. I mean, they looked at him, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. Goodbye. John stayed. You know what I mean? And then if you look up that picture, I don't give a shit who you are. Anybody in this world will be like, he looked like he got his ass whooped, and that guy looks fine. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really think the judges screwed both of those up. But then what can you do? You know what I mean? Especially if you got judges that are used to doing boxing and not MMA.
Never
Mhm.
leave it
So
in the hands of the fucking judges.
exactly.
Never.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, if you do, you know what the fucking repercussions could be. I
Yeah,
mean,
100%. You know, and
Trump.
I feel for Rose losing her title, but you know what? You got to do something. You can't you can't stand around in the middle of a fight like that. You know what I mean? And then just, oh, I did enough to win. No, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? You got to protect that title. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Oh
I
shit!
really
I didn't even
would.
see that Shogun beat OSP.
He didn't. He lost.
Oh, he lost.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay,
lost decision. Yeah, lost
I didn't
decision.
see
I
that
thought,
one.
yeah. That, I mean, OSP's length was a little too much, I think, for Shogun.
Oh, okay. The
You know,
site just made it look like the
yeah,
way they had it designed. It looked like
yeah.
he had the
Yeah,
win.
OSP won that one too by decision. It was a bit of a lackluster fight. I think both of them were in there, to win, but it didn't seem like it seemed like that match should have happened 2 months after the first time they fought.
Okay.
That's what it should have. They should have ran it back a lot sooner. Shogun is showing his age. He says he's got two more fights left at him, and this was one of them. So I would say, yeah. I would like to
Let him
see him
go
do
up against an
that.
older cat that he had beef with before or something.
Right, right. You could try. Well, I mean, Machida's gone, so I would have said, you could do a Shogun Machida 3. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
who does he have a rivalry with that's still there now? I
Yeah,
mean,
ain't
not
nobody
really
else.
many.
Ain't nobody left.
That's right. And then and when you're sitting there listening to the commentary, DC said it himself. He was like, Shogun is here fighting before me, and look, he's still here fighting after me. You
That
know,
dude's
I
a
mean, it's
beast.
pretty serious, so, but that's, you're not going to get the old school shoot a box Shogun from back in the days when he was just laying out monsters. You know what I mean? You might get, a lucky overhand right. You know what I'm saying nowadays. But when you look at him, when he's in there, you're like, damn, man, he's old now. You know what I mean? You see it. It's like, wow, dude's showing his age. Totally showing his age. But I do hope that the next person he gets, maybe it's a young cat that's trying to become an up and comer, and he lays his ass out. That'd be great.
Yeah,
You know what
Shogun
I
was
mean?
savage.
Yeah. I'd like to see him go out on his sword, but in a winning bid. That'd be kick ass because Shogun always had my respect.
Do you know why they canceled the Cerrone and Joe Lazone fight?
So Cerrone, from what I understand, at the last couple days, he came down with something. I don't know if it was maybe he caught the same shit we're going through,
Mhm.
but I think it would take a
Shit
lot
ain't
more
Joe.
than that to put him down. But it was something. It was some sickness or something like that that he contracted, and it fucked up his training regimen. So I believe that's why he was like, nah. But they just
Okay.
got rebooked, so thank God for that. They're gonna have him and Jolo go again, and that's gonna happen. I think somewhere down the line, maybe another 3 months, maybe the
Okay.
next big
Yeah,
card.
because
But
I
yeah,
was just on Google and all it said is canceled. Didn't give any fucking details.
yeah, no, yeah, they were really mum about that one. I don't know why, but I mean, maybe it was something, that
COVID
people would have got
related.
pissed off if they found out the truth. And, Cerrone didn't pull the UFC's nuts out of the fire so many times that they were never going to badmouth him. Dana will never have nothing bad to say about Donald Cerrone. You know what I mean? The many times he stepped up on short notice to take a fight for a guy that bounced out or whatever, he's gonna always have some kind of standing, and Dana will always take care of Donald Cerrone, which is as it should be. Cerrone is a straight gladiator, man. So yeah, he's gonna. That fight has been definitely rebooked. I believe that's the retirement fight for one or the other.
All right. Well, let's get to this main one. You got it. Did you get a chance to see it? Oliveira versus Gaethje.
That was a good. That fight went exactly
I
as
seen it.
I
That
figured.
shit was a fucking yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who was going to come out on top, but I figured one or the other was going to hurt the other one, and somebody was going to make a mistake, and that was going to be it.
I
When
figured Oliveira because I think he's a little bit more well rounded. Gaethje
Yeah,
is just too fucking careless, man. You
yeah.
can't knock him for it because it's very entertaining and he does get the job done a lot of times. But in the grand scheme of things, he's very careless and reckless defensively.
Well,
When you think
his
he's not
style is good.
tactical enough.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, the same things that make him must see TV are the same things that he will lose by. And that's why I agree with you 100%. Oliveira is just on a different level now. You know what I mean? The guy, he can strike.
Those
You
knees were
know,
nasty.
yeah. Oh, you seen him bring him up. He brings him right up to your face. You know what I mean? He's so like trim and proper. Like he has, no drag at all. You know what I'm saying? He bring him right up.
And he
So
got the chin too.
yeah,
He might
yeah,
get
he developed
rocked,
a
but
chin. Yeah,
that shit wears off so fucking fast.
he developed chin. And my man is into his training 100%. And they say you either have a chin or you don't. But the more you train, the harder and more intense your workouts get eventually. And when your body gets used to it, you know what I'm saying? Things happen, things change in your body. And I think that dude, for some weird ass reason, developed a granite chin, man. The guy, he can take a hit, he can give a hit, and he can. If you expose your back to this guy, that's it.
It's over. It's
It's
fucking
all. It's done,
curtains.
dude. He's proven that so many times. So I mean, his and
Well, didn't
there's
Gaethje get out initially, but he got right back on it?
he never really got past the hooks, and that was the thing.
Okay.
He did free himself from the hands for a second, but when he got them hooks in, it was pretty much a wrap. So
Leo,
that's
did
the
you see
worst.
it?
Nah, I didn't see none of these.
You missed it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's the worst backpack you could ever own in your life, dude. Is Charles Oliveira. So yeah, he got a hold of it, and that was the end of that. So the thing that didn't sit well with me with this was that they said that the scales were fucked with a lot by
Oh
the
yeah,
I
there
heard
was a
about
UFC.
that.
lot of
Yeah,
I
it was
heard
controversy.
a
about
big
that.
thing. And Data's now saying that they're probably going to hire a guy to make sure nobody fucks with the scales because this
I
could
was
have
thinking the
been,
same shit, dude. Like, isn't it fucking
yeah.
easy to manipulate this shit?
Well, I mean, think about it. You have scales, you know what I mean, for the weigh-in, right?
Hmm.
But a bunch of people are still trying to make weight sometimes when they get there. So have other scales. What the fuck are you doing? Don't let nobody go to the
Yeah.
podium and jump on
And
that scale.
digital, they were saying digital they should have
Yeah.
digital.
Well, I mean, it's never going to be like that. It's just the way when it comes to fighting, they like the triple beam style. You know what I mean? They
Triple
think it's
beam.
way more accurate. I mean, whatever. Even though you know what I'm saying, baby.
Yeah.
But so the way that works out is they set these guys because over there it's kilograms. You know what I'm saying in euros.
Hmm.
Over here we're pounds. So they're over there fucking with the scale, trying to this is where I'm at in kilograms. And oh, okay, cool. And then the next guy fucks with it, and the next guy fucks with it, and the next guy fucks with it, and then before you know it, they're having the weigh-ins on the same damn scale. Hello, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You got to have different scales for these guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In different places where they can, do their pre-warm up fucking weigh-in shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing things that way, you should know better. I mean, there's a couple of times in these last couple of years, there's been funny things going on with UFC, like doing shit. You know what I mean? So I think they need to clean that shit up. Even Dana got pissed about that one because it basically cost them a title fight. You know, now it
Yeah.
might work out in their favor in the end because now you can bring up the next guy who's going to be another fight with Oliveira, and now you can have a unification title bout. You know what I'm saying, and shit like that. Which this should have been because Gaethje is the interim, is the interim champ.
Hmm.
So that was pretty sad about it. I thought it's one thing, okay, he didn't make weight and you stripped him. That's okay, I understand that. But why couldn't he, turn right around and win the title? That just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Especially if it's weird shit going on with the scales. So,
Hmm.
I didn't understand that. But whatever, they got
You
weird
could
ass
tell he was
rules.
pissed because he hopped straight over that fence and got up, and
Oh, yeah.
Dana's like, man, what the
Oh, yeah.
fuck, man?
He told him, like, dude, you
Missing
know
my
I'm the best.
belt.
This definitely. I agree.
Hmm.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
think I
So there's
mean,
talk of both Connor and Nate fighting Oliveira at this point.
nah, it's not going to happen. I completely doubt that happens. Nate's coming off a couple losses, and so is what's the name? And you know what?
I think Nate said
Regardless,
he wanted Chandler. I think, if I'm not
he did.
mistaken.
He did recently say he wanted Chandler. I think the issue with having either one of those guys jump the line on the back of two losses, you know what I'm saying? Kind of taints and kind of diminishes the value of the title that way.
But I wouldn't put it past Dana. He stays on
It's,
Connor's
it's
dick.
about money. We both know that with him. He is
Mhm.
definitely a money guy. It's always about money. But even he would have to, think about it. He'd have to take a step back and be like, do I really want to do this and then make it look like anybody could with a name? could come up and just do this, it kind of lessens the brand, in my opinion, if they do that.
For
I
me,
wouldn't put it
the
past them.
fight to make would be Connor and Masvidal. I think that's a fucking brilliant fight.
It's a good
Because of
fight.
the lead up
Yeah.
and technically they're both gonna be striking. Then no one's
Yeah,
gonna be trying to
somebody's
wrestle.
going to sleep. Somebody's definitely going to sleep in that fight. Yes.
And it would make money for both of them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it makes perfect sense. I think that's the route they should go. But I don't know if Masvidal with that Kobe shit, if that might be something they're not gonna, work with at this point because of that
Well,
black cloud,
especially because he's talking. Colby's over there talking about,
brain
I got a
damage.
brain injury or some dumb shit. Like, yeah, we already know you got brain damage, bro, but it wasn't from that. So, yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah, I would say make that fight. That'd be a great fight. You could bill it the BMF title too. You know what I'm saying? The second one.
That's
I
the
don't
only
know.
title. That's the only title, and even that he shouldn't be fighting for that. Connor
Right,
personally,
right. I agree. You got
but he's
plenty
gonna
of
get his
ways.
fights. They're gonna give him. We know this. He's gonna
Yeah,
get some way. He's gonna get a big fight.
I
I'd
think
rather it be a big
before.
fight that's not a main title.
Right. I think before with his first run, he was getting big fights and people wanted to see him because they wanted to see him prove people wrong again because he was doing that left and right in his first run. Now I think people just want to see him get on and get his ass knocked the fuck up, because they're getting sick of, the same shit. Plus, he made $100 million off the fucking fight with Floyd. He's doing just fine. People want to see him get his mouth shut now. So we'll see what happens. I would like that fight though. I think that would be fireworks.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes perfect sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Only thing I can think of is that shit is holding it up with Kobe.
Right.
Otherwise, I think they probably would have maybe tried to pursue that.
Right.
But for Oliveira, I don't know who else is even out there.
Well, he could go up. He could go down. I don't think it's in his best interest to go back down. I think he just should stay where he's at and just be
He beat
that man.
Poirier too, right?
Yes, he beat
Yeah,
Poirier.
he's fucking walking through everybody.
He's the man, dude.
Not walking
what
through
I mean?
everybody, but he's beating everybody.
Yeah, he's the dude. I think you leave him to do his thing. I think maybe if it happens, I'd like to see him and Holloway go at it. That would be a pretty decent fight, in my opinion. They're both quick striking and they both got wonderful, takedown defense, and they're both pretty decent on the ground. Well, Oliveira's he has the edge in that all day, but I think that would be a pretty good fight right there, pretty decent scrap, champion versus champion. I don't know if it would ever materialize, but I think that would be a pretty good one to make. If he was really looking for, a test.
Oh, okay. I got one for you. And I seen it this morning. I should have remembered this. Islam is calling him out.
Oh yeah. I
That's
did read that
that's the one to
article.
make right there.
That's what
That's
Khabib
the
was
fight.
saying. Khabib was saying that it's all open for them two now, and that would be a decent fight, man. Because Makhachev, he's got crazy that Dagestani wrestling, you know what I'm saying, and it overwhelms you, But Oliveira, he's got super super slick jiu-jitsu, so
Oliveira stated he thinks that Islam needs to fight Benel Dariush, and I think
Benil's there,
he's
yeah.
kind of right. That's a good
Benil's
fight.
there, yeah. That would
The
be a good
winner of
fight.
that should get the title shot. I
would agree with that too, because they're both monster wrestlers like that. They can just basically, just push out somebody's jiu-jitsu because they're so good at that wrestling style. So yeah,
either one of those dudes I wouldn't mind seeing. Those are both good matchups.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, make them fight each other. Shit. I mean, Islam kind of worked his way up pretty quick too. Not saying he doesn't deserve it because he's a beast.
No, he did. He did. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But that stylistically, that's a good fucking fight. Islam and Oliveira, I think it's probably gonna get made. If Dana might just let him skip that Dariush fight and just because there's not too many other opponents out there for Oliveira that he hasn't beat already. I'm looking at the rankings right now. You got Poirier, who he already beat. You got Gaethje, he already beat. Chandler, who he already beat. Dos Anjos is at 7, but that's already,
he needs to
way
work
down the
back.
list.
Yeah, he needs to work his way back.
Connor is technically listed at 9 on the UFC ranking. But they're not going to make him work his way up. They'll probably, I don't know. We'll see.
No, he's the big money guy.
We'll see. But yeah, I mean, so there are some fights out there for him.
Right. Beneil was supposed to fight somebody. I can't remember who it was. And it got canceled for some odd reason. So
I think he was sick or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And he
fucked up Ferguson, about a year ago?
Yeah, something like that. I would say, yeah, that's a good fight to make, Islam and Beneil, because then you got a clear cut number 1. coming out of there, in my opinion. So yeah, I would say that's good. And there's killers in that division, man. You know,
Hmm.
that is not a nice division. That's a deep division right there. So yeah, there's just definitely some fights in there that are coming up too pretty soon. So yeah, that's a good one to go.
275 is it's not that stacked of a card. I'm looking at it right now.
The next one, big
It's
one, I think.
Glover.
Yeah, yeah, I thought Izzy and they're doing two championship fights in the
That's the
next one.
July one, right? Yeah, that's gonna be a
And
nice
so,
one.
and that's
Uh,
gonna be that's a stack card. So
yeah, this one
yeah,
it's Weili Zhang against Joanna
right. Serena.
uh Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. I'm not familiar with Santos, but
Okay,
Shevchenko is a beast.
she is at that,
But
man.
yeah, this card ain't. It's alright. I like Glover, but
Yeah,
the
I'm
have you
pulling
heard of this
for
dude he fought? Jiri
Prochaska.
Prochazky?
Prochaska is good. He's the guy that laid out Dominic Cruz and like with the crazy spinning double elbow. That was a pretty damn nasty knockout right there. The dude's
Dominic Reyes,
definitely,
right?
yeah, yeah. He
Okay,
put
yeah.
him out with a video game
I
move,
think I
bro.
seen that one too. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nasty.
that was nasty, nasty. Dude's definitely a hitter. You know, I think Glover gets him though. Be honest with you, Glover's just he's just a monster. You know what I mean? So I think Glover gets him, and he's with his revitalized how he feels at 40 something years old, being the guy. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
yeah,
think he
and
gets him.
he took out Yan, who nobody
Yeah,
seen that shit
you know what I'm
coming.
saying? And Jan is people don't realize they sleep on Jan still, man. That he's no joke. You know, the Polish power out of him, man, is real for real. So
Yeah, I mean, there was rumors that that was a real reason that that John Jones was going up to heavyweight was to kind of avoid that fight. I don't know if it's true or not. I wouldn't say it was
it's tough.
possible.
It's tough to say.
John Jones fought so many goddamn people. You can't really say he's scared
Yeah,
of anybody.
he fought everybody. That's true. But I will say that even he knew that because he mentioned something along those lines that it was about time to get up out of there because those guys are getting younger. You know what I mean? They're only getting younger. They're only getting stronger. They're only getting better as time goes by. You see the evolution of MMA, and it's just getting more and more and more. Back in the day, 10, 20 years ago, half the submissions that you see now, you didn't see that
Hmm.
because what I'm saying, everything changed and people started learning these because a lot of these, you know, these submissions in MMA nowadays were reserved before guys that got like the first rope or the first stripe on their black belt. Then they started teaching you this specific one, like a gogo plata or an omoplata. You know what I'm saying? And then if you got another, what I'm saying, bar on your belt, they taught you other ones. But other people got sick of that because it was like, look, why are we withholding knowledge? We're only gonna, make this shit take longer for people to master. You might as well just teach them all this shit. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And so now you got guys teaching these kids, from day one, all these secret, role moves and shit like that, that were really just, earmarked for guys who had been doing it for 10, 12, 15 years. So I think
So
John saw that and realized, look, I'm actually only getting heavier too because I'm only getting older. You know what I'm saying? So it might be time to move up. And maybe he's, we'll see. You know what I mean? Because we've seen him take hits from people before. John has a chin.
yeah,
Don't get it. People forget about that too. He's taken hits from big dudes, and he stepped. He's maintained.
yeah, I'm interested in
Wait,
seeing him at heavyweight. I think that's gonna be entertaining.
I
They're
do
talking
as
about
well.
Stipe, him and
Yeah,
Stipe.
I do as well. It's just, and then an editorial came out recently, of people making fun of his chicken legs. It's like, blood. He's always had them skinny ass legs. You know what I'm saying? But he still wins. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the guy personally, you know what I'm saying? But you respect the skill. If you could do things like this kid could and move like he does, then you know what I mean? You'd be a happy motherfucker. Why not? And some people would be even worse than he is personality wise with
Yeah,
those kind of skills. You know
facts.
what I mean? So, I think he chose the right time to move up. He was also quoted as saying, "I wasn't going up to heavyweight and fighting DC at heavyweight because he in his mind he thinks DC would have probably had a better chance to beat him because he wasn't cutting himself and
I agree.
dehydrating himself. Yeah.
DC was
So
at his best when he was in Strike Force,
at heavyweight,
heavyweight, fucking
yeah,
folding
he was
fools.
he was the dude. He was bowling people over, no problem. You know what I mean? So I think maybe it would have been a different fight then had they fought, what I'm saying, in heavyweight. Who knows? Maybe he would have got knocked out again. But Johnny, too many times when he was going to go up against DC, in my opinion, was telling because, he got busted every time. Damn near they fought for fucking roids. So, it's kind
Yeah,
of telling.
there was a story of him hiding under the ring
Yeah,
to
it's
avoid the
true.
Bada guys. Yeah.
He admitted it. He fucking admitted it, dude. So, anybody can say what they want, but the proof is in the pudding, and it's out there. You just got to look it up online, bro. You know what I mean?
The
So
micrograms, picograms, or whatever the fuck
I'm
it's called.
telling you, bro. Oh yeah, pulsing effect, right? It's like, dude, I've never heard of that shit in my life. You know what I mean? Until now. So whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be looking forward to him coming out and either he knocks somebody, taps somebody, or he gets knocked out himself. Either way, it
Him
works
and
for me.
Stipe will be nice.
I think so. I think he has a distinct advantage over Stipe because he's just more well rounded and he knows how to use that elliptical kick like nobody's business.
And those elbows.
Stipe is
Elbows are
Stipe
fucking
can be kind of stiff. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and his
boxing wise.
elbows.
Yeah, boxing and
His
wrestling.
elbows are like somebody's fist, man. You know what I'm saying? He's that long. You know what I mean? His reach is 84. You know what I mean? You take that half, that's still what, 42? You know what I mean? Coming from an elbow, he can tag you with that. So,
God
we'll
All
damn.
see.
right. Well, let's move on
All right.
to the 49ers draft.
Hey.
Spend a little bit of time on this. You weren't happy with this?
Well, okay, so my initial reaction to the draft was, you knew I was
Yeah,
pissed,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
were
It was
talking
a lot like what was going on
Messenger.
last year and whatnot. But after the initial shock of some of the moves and going back and looking over some tape and trying to find highlights of these guys, I think they made some pretty decent moves. If not just like last year, they reached a bit.
I
I
was a
mean,
little surprised they didn't do any kind of wheeling and dealing. They kind of stayed
me
put.
too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. Because guys were falling. And I think with all the picks that we had, let's be honest. In the first round, and we had 9 picks. We probably did get back in the first round. We had to give up half of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of them would have been ones that we really wanted to give up. So I understand why they stood pat at a certain point. But I mean, we could have went up and got some people. When I saw Hamilton fall to number 14, I thought for sure they were going to make some kind of move. But when I saw that the Ravens were sitting there at number 14, I was like, it's a wrap.
Ravens had a nice fucking draft.
It was a wrap. I mean, I knew for damn sure that once the Ravens were there and he fell to them, he was gone. You know what I mean? He's going to be a star in that system. Simple and plain. He's just a bigger Earl Thomas. I mean, a bigger Ed Reed. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just and faster. You know what I mean? So I think that kid's going to definitely pan out over there. Um, so I like the Drake Jackson pick. I didn't know who he was at first, and then I had to go look him up. And
I
when
agreed, and in the first
yeah,
footage I seen, I was like, eh. And
yeah,
then you were like, nah, you got to look at the other one because this dude is a
yeah,
beast. And I was like, okay, let me see. And I was
yeah,
like, okay,
I've
yeah, I
seen
see
the
what you're
video. Yeah.
saying.
yeah. He's got good hands. And that's what's going to help. He doesn't have all the moves yet, but he's really, really good and violent with them hands. He has the closing speed after he beats the guard at a 4.540 for a guy who's 275 pounds. I mean, you ride that shit home right away. You know what I mean? You got running backs running at speed at half the size. You know what I mean? So that right there was like, okay, I like this. I like this pick. You know what I mean? Initially, I didn't know who he was, but when I watched the tape and I read up, you know what I mean, on his, and he has great short, was it shuttle was really good too. He's just an all around athlete, and I think being around all those ends and Bosa and all that, it's just going to rub on off on him more. The
Yeah.
pick that I still have trouble digesting was
Womack.
Tyrion Price. Womack. Tyrion Price really threw me for a loop because I don't think anybody had chosen running back until that point. I do know that nobody else did after us until the next day. You know what I mean? So
But I
means
like what
that
I seen out of his film. He's what we haven't had. 6'1", 235 pounds.
Sounds
We
like
right.
a
need a short
bruiser.
yardage back. We need
He's a
a guy
Brandon
with
Jacobs. He's a Brandon Jacobs mold. My only
and he does like some of the the read option with Trey Lance will be nice.
right.
From what I've
Mhm.
seen
Yeah.
out of him.
No, I mean it's understandable what they were thinking when they picked him. My only problem is that at that point he was still rated the number 5 running back,
But you
and
know
you
how
could have had him
Shanny
the next
is.
day.
Mhm.
You know how
Exactly, but
you
this is my problem with that. You know what I mean? Because all right, so now we've got two times in I don't know how many 5, 6 drafts that he's fallen in love 3 times now. He's fallen in love with a running back. You know what I'm saying? And nothing's
CBS
really
gives the
worked
grade a
out.
D, by the way. They graded it a D for the pick.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just it didn't make you could have had him later. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially with the fact that Nick Cross is sitting right there. I mean, he's right there.
Yeah,
You
but
talk
these
about
guys are enamored with the safeties we got. I don't know why. I'm not a Jimmy Ward dude.
They
well,
said I heard they might. They like don't be surprised if we sign Tart. That's what I was hearing.
Tart is
maybe they're
okay.
looking at us as we can bring him back at another cheap 1 year thing, and
I
I
think
would
that's
have
what
loved
it is.
Honey Badger. I think we all would have loved Honey Badger.
keep that, yeah, keep the chemistry together and all that shit. I would have
Mhm.
took Honey Badger in a heartbeat. I think they should have signed him years ago, before he went to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We could
Um,
have drafted him too. Shit.
yeah, really. So
Hold up, we got one comment here. Let me read this real quick. The vet who always is always repping for us, always on our show.
you know,
Right on for tuning in, my man. What's up, fellas? I like the feel the Niners had an efficient draft and addressed needs when you add the undrafted
undrafted
free
free
agents.
agents,
Mhm.
man.
Was a real good draft. Agreed.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, you got your safety in O'Neal. You know what I'm
and
saying?
and and let me give the vet props real quick because he did mention Danny Gray on the
Yeah.
Right,
podcast.
Yeah.
He said
About
he
the
right.
liked
You
him,
did.
and we ended up
You
picking
did.
him.
SMU
Um,
receivers.
Oh, he says
Oh,
he thinks it was
it could have.
Anthony.
You know what? I didn't
That
even
makes sense.
consider that. I
that you
did
know
not
what?
even consider that. He might be right. I think you're
Anthony
probably
Lynn.
right for that. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Vet,
No,
you
no.
ready to come on the show one time, man? We can have you on. Hit us up in the DMs on IG. We'll see what's up.
I just from what I was seeing, after the fact, I got why they picked him. You know what I'm saying? So you got nothing but a bunch of basically a bunch of scat backs if you discount Sermon. You know what I'm saying? Sermon's got size, but this is how many times in a draft where he's picked a guy high
Yeah,
or was
my
semi
bad for
high.
interrupting, but do you think this is an indictment on Sermon?
That's
Kind
what
of
it looked
is,
like.
right?
I don't
That's what
think
it
they're
looked
really.
like.
I don't think they're ready to give up on him just yet. I think they'll let go of Hasty or J Dub before they let this kid go because they invested a 3rd round pick in him. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But if he doesn't pan out this year, he's out the door. I firmly believe that.
I think
But
Wilson is under contract still too.
yeah, we re-signed him for the year. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I could see Sermon getting cut, but I could see
Or
Sermon
traded.
going elsewhere and having a success. Shanahan is just a weird dude.
Yeah.
He's weird with running backs.
Well, my
Like
problem
he's
is
just so
that
strange with the distribution
yeah,
of the reps.
it's
I don't
it's a
understand
major
it.
problem for me with him at that because over so many years, over decades with this system, you don't need high draft picks. You don't need none of that. You could take dude, Olandis Gary.
Yeah.
Olandis Gary. That's all I gotta say. He was
And
a
the other
1,000 yard
Mike,
rusher.
what was it? Mike
Ruben Drones.
Ruben
Ruben
Jones,
Drones.
Mike Bell, and some other. I
Yeah,
had a
Mike
bunch of them.
Williams. You know what I'm saying? All Denver guys. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, you know what I'm saying? In that system were 1,000 yard rushers. They went elsewhere and they didn't do. What did Olandis Gary do when he went to Detroit? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all, bro. So it just gets to me, you know what I mean, sometimes because oh, well, I drafted this guy for my system and he's going to be a star. We're going to have him for the next 10 years. And then they flame out, dude. You don't need that.
Mhm.
Mostert, Breda, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on J Dub. It
Breda
goes
was
on and
Breda
on.
was. I thought we should have used Breda more, but whatever.
It's just annoying after a while, dude. You know where you hang your hat when it comes to drafting running backs. You don't draft them high. You draft them low. You know what I'm saying? Or don't draft them at all. We'll get you in a drafted free agent. Wasn't Breda? Was it Mostert? Was it J Dub? They were all undrafted free agents, bro. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it just kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? That you would go and you spend another pick, especially after having with Joe Williams, what just happened with Trey Sermon, and you're gonna go get this kid who was ranked number 5, bro. He didn't his yard per carry average below 4 yards last year, and everybody's going crazy because he beat what's the name's Leonard Fournette's 200 something yard game or whatever. He broke his record. Oh, okay, that's cool. But it took him another 20 fucking carries over what Fournette did to make that record. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't bode well to me as a guy who's going to come in and take over shit. And what happens with these big ass running backs that normally they don't run low? You know what I mean? They run tall, like Brandon Jacobs. 5-6 years is the most you're going to get out of this guy.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't sit well with me. I think
I like it though because we need somebody to be that bruising back, and if it's not going to be Sermon,
that's fine. That's totally fine, bro. I'm just saying that.
Honestly, I can't even front. I didn't really scout any running backs,
right?
Because I didn't think we were going to take one this early. So I really don't have anything to compare with.
It's not the guy himself that's the problem I have. It's the position in which he was taken, because we could have had him in round 5. Nobody else was looking. Oh shit, we need to go get fucking Price because fucking Niners are going to get him. Nobody said that. Who said that at all in that draft? Not nobody. Never.
I think it was due more with Debo. So you know what I'm saying. Look, we're gonna draft another running back. You know what I'm saying, so we could get that. You know, don't worry about that low that you had last season.
Yes, I agree. I mean, completely.
I think that was another reason too.
I agree.
Like, you know, but yeah, I see some video. Dude look like a bruiser. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
But who was gonna draft him?
Yeah,
the 5th ranked running back before we did. The day after, nobody. So in my opinion, that was a loss, because I think personally, you get Nick Cross, he's your starting safety for the next 7 years, dude. He was that good in my opinion. I like George Odom. I like Hufanga. I'm cool with Moore. You know what I'm saying? And the other kid that they picked up. But what do we have in these
Moore? I don't know about Moore.
What do we have in these safeties, dude? You know what I'm saying? We got 2 box safeties in Hufanga and Moore, because neither one of them are really that good when it comes to coverage. Yeah. I mean, Hufanga can diagnose a play great, but he doesn't have closing speed. So basically, what is he? He's an in the box safety. He's a glorified linebacker. You know what I'm saying? That can cover.
But he does have a nose to make plays.
Special teams, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but he's not on the left. He's not a Palomalu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when you got the other 2 dudes that you signed, one's a spot starter.
More
granted, he went to a Pro Bowl. Yeah, this guy, Odom or whoever it was. But these guys are special teams aces. That's why you got them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Cross would have stepped right in, I think, day 1 or 2, and he would have been basically the guy. You know what I'm saying? If not this year.
I liked what I seen out of Cross. Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
He's fast. He's compact. He hits hard. He has ball hawking skills. He's smart when in dialing in plays. He's a sure tackler. He's not scared to come up and make a hit in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? The kid was everything. He would have fit perfect. And the things that D'Amico Ryans would have been able to do with him. And then once, because this is about to be a contract year for Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Ward, maybe he's not here again.
Another Jimmy. God damn it.
Right?
Too many
then you could slide Nick right over, or you could slide one of those guys over. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't need so much for a guy to be a deep center fielder. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that they screwed that up. Now, most of the other moves that they made, I didn't have a problem with.
The vet says he thinks the Castro Fields kid we drafted could be converted to safety. Yeah, he's got the length, isn't he? Kind of tall.
I haven't seen his intangibles just yet. I tried to find. It's really difficult to find tape on that kid.
What is he? 6'2"?
I seen some.
I think he's like 6'2".
Yeah, right. I seen some tape. Supposedly, it might be Quan Williams' replacement. Put him in the nickel. That's what I was hearing.
Right.
That was a possibility. I'm not sure if I say anything, but maybe
transition
into a safety.
And don't forget about Womack.
I think
Womack. Was it Womack or was it Womack?
It was Womack.
I think it was Womack then, yeah.
I think Womack was the guy. Guy that's going to get pushed into
the nickel.
Okay, so Tariq Castro Fields, he's 6 foot 194, which is decent size for a safety.
There was some. I seen some video. Dude got some nice coverage skills.
Yeah, he can put on some weight.
Yeah, and then a lot of people were saying that they were surprised that he was still there in the 5th or 6th where we grabbed him, right?
Got him in
5th round?
6th,
Yeah,
pick
supposedly.
221.
Okay.
So what I was reading is like they're surprised that he was there that late. I'm not sure. I mean, if he could be a starter, but I was hearing some good news about him. I was reading up some on Twitter, some couple of bios that I seen about him, some videos. There was some breakdown because he played at, was it Penn State? No, what was he played at? What did he played at?
Astro Fields was Penn State, I believe.
Okay, Penn State. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so he played in some good competition. Was that
Right,
the Big Ten? Big Ten. So yeah, he looks solid.
Castro Fields runs a 4.38. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he was solid.
What I hear, he's not really good at opening up his hips that much, and that's a problem if a guy runs by you. Now, a 4.38 40 means you got good for the recovery speed. But I also heard a little bit that he would get a little handsy, and you know how
Yeah,
that's
I've seen
very
that.
difficult coming out of college. You know what I'm saying?
And the ball skills, when the ball,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe I watched some of his film and he kind of looked a little bit like, I don't know, like
Well,
he didn't
shaky.
really have that nose for the ball, but we'll see.
Right.
I know a lot of the video that I've seen, he turned his head a lot for the ball.
Womack's a nickel guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, so all right.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that jersey.
Yeah, I think Womack is definitely gonna we know one Womack who's definitely gonna be buying that damn jersey. But I think Womack has a little bit of something to his name. I did hear a little bit about it, even though he came from Toledo. They don't have the
Y'all go ahead.
biggest.
I'll be right back. I gotta
So
take a piss real quick.
and he doesn't have the biggest name, but I heard I think last year he had 10 pass deflections, so not bad. Yeah, they had 20 pass breakups. Yeah, I think most of that came from Womack. But I wouldn't put it past, especially if you have some deficiencies in your game. I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe probably trying to, convert Tariq to a safety. And they like the big safeties. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this system that we run. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really have a lot of ire to a lot of the other picks that they made because it seemed like what they were doing was just stockpiling up, in case things happened, in case other guys don't pan out.
That's what I got the vibe. Yeah, those draft picks, just in case shit didn't get down. I mean, after that, we heard that Jason Verrett got re-signed for a 1-year deal. That's just but they got a lot of. Well, now I say they got what, 5 cornerbacks right now. You got Ambry Thomas, Lenore, Verrett, and then Womack, and then Castro. So that's 5 right there. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably sign one more. And what's Leon Hall? He's a safety, right?
Leon O'Neal.
Yeah,
he's a safety. And don't forget about Charvarius. He's there.
Oh yeah.
We still got Mosley under contract too. And
you got Mosley, exactly. Yeah.
That's the one where you got to kind of wonder what's going to happen here. I think Mosley kind of sometimes he gets treated like a redheaded stepchild because I've been reading a lot of
he's been really underrated cornerback.
Yeah,
right?
very, very underrated. And he had a solid year last year. I don't understand why people are saying that. You know what I mean? Maybe because he got injured. Who knows? But you can't really call every injury. But I think this is going to be the one that's going to be kind of funny. Because you got to see how it's going to work out. All the editorials that I've been reading since we've re-signed Verrett, they're saying Verrett, Ward, and maybe Ambry Thomas at the nickel. And that doesn't make sense to me because I don't see Ambry Thomas beating out Mosley. You know what I'm saying? For pretty much anything just yet. But don't get me wrong, Thomas made strides near the end of the season. But
he did look solid. Yeah, we saw that.
So
we saw the big improvements.
Right. I think Verrett is just he's going to take the role basically that Sherm had, and try to be a stabilizing presence for these young kids that are coming in the door right now, and teach them how to how to handle business in the NFL. I won't say that he won't see the field. I won't say that at all. I think he will see the field. I just don't think that people are on point with saying that he's going to be the one locking down the other boundary corner spot. I don't think they do that with him. You know what I mean? I think you want to put him in as maybe like in a dime package, you know what I'm saying, or another corner out there for a nickel. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, this way you don't have to worry about him busting anything, and you're not putting extra miles on a body that already reacts to fucking football like a rock in glass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had the utmost, you know what I'm saying, hope that Verrett would last the season. I was hoping up and down he would.
Yeah,
I was behind him 100%.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, sometimes, your body's, how many times you rehab and they won't work for you like that.
Yeah.
So I say Ward on a boundary, maybe Ambry and Mosley at the nickel or at a boundary. You know what I'm saying? Either one of those two are interchangeable in my opinion. But hey, if the new kids come in and they take their jobs, they take their jobs, man. The hell with it. Iron sharpens iron. We need to get better in that backfield.
I just don't know about this Womack guy.
Yeah, if they play better
Jury's still out on that guy, man. Jury's still out.
if they play anything better than Josh,
I mean Womack might be right.
Josh Norman. I mean, shit, that's just a bigger
right. Don't forget we got Denard too. We got Derquez Denard.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yep, I remember that. Yeah.
We've got a crowd in secondary room right now.
That's true. Young, young quarterback.
Might get some surprise cuts.
I mean, it might just happen that way, bro. Yeah. I'm hoping that with all this influx, and it looks like this is their game plan, they're bringing in bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. You know what I'm saying? So they can have just like the major like battle in camp. You know what I'm saying?
In case somebody gets hurt, somebody gets injured.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happened. Because all our injuries when it comes to cornerback, Verrett was it first week, or second week or something like that. So we get these injuries, early in the season, first or second game. So I mean, that's the thing to do now. I mean, we kind of like got to learn your lesson, because of now, you're bringing in the Josh Normans and whoever's available and shit. So
that's right, and I think we did the same thing with linemen this year too.
I was going to ask you, did you guys touch on the O lineman?
No, we didn't even get to that yet. So I would say the one that intrigued me the most was an undrafted free agent, not even Burford or Kalji or whatever his name is. The one that really got my attention from watching this kid on tape, he's a freaking monster, is Poe. Oh my God, this kid, he's
fast as fuck.
300 pounds, and he ran what, a 4.7 or 4.6? So 4.7 or something like that.
I think he played some tight end, running back, or something like that. I was hearing. Dude got speed, so
he's got wheels, bro.
Yeah. What is he? He's an O lineman.
Yeah, O lineman from Mercer. From Mercer.
Yeah, he's a guard, and but he's on the shorter side, so they're thinking maybe they're gonna squeeze him into center.
There's tape of him. I guess
I thought we were gonna get Deese Jr. because he was still out there.
Right. Tight end. We didn't get no tight ends, huh?
No,
we did get tight end. I think we got one in the.
Was he drafted?
Undrafted.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but that came from Jason Poe. There's tape on him when Mercer played Alabama, and you see he was out there basically running with these dudes from Alabama.
He's like a fucking bowling ball, dude. That's what that guy is.
Yeah.
Leon O'Neal Jr. was a nice pickup too.
Yeah, that was
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Javi had him on his show,
right.
and he liked him. So that's a nice pickup too.
Right.
You could see him possibly stealing somebody's job. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe we get a surprise cut. I can see Leon O'Neal making the roster though.
I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy because then we'd have our starting center. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the guy that we wanted, but you know what I'm saying? If he has similar gaming style, then I'm good with that. We just, in my opinion, we just need a ball hawker. We've had all these heavy hitters at safety for so long. We need a guy who can come in and, at the very least, do both. A ball hawker and a hard hitter, a la Dante Whitner. And that's what I saw in Nick Cross. He was just a bigger, in my opinion.
Leon O'Neal can lay the wood, though.
Yeah,
He
so
can. Hey, I'm not afraid of that pick. I'm not against that pick. He was supposed to go in the 4th round, 4th to 7th. They had him mocked. So, to get him as an undrafted, that's a pretty good deal. You know what I mean? But
And Garrett Walston is the tight end. We
okay.
got out of North
Okay.
Carolina, undrafted free agent.
for NC,
Not
okay,
familiar with. I haven't looked up anything on him.
okay. NC State or Tar Heels?
Tar Heels 6'4", 245.
And the other one I saw some video was on the quarterback too.
Purdy looks pretty good.
Yeah, he got some solid.
Yeah, I liked what
He
I
had a
seen.
decent career, man. I hope,
Yeah.
hopefully, he supplants Sudfeld. Hopefully, he does.
Yeah,
I think that kid's a little better.
He had some good games. I think he had Iowa State ranked like 6 or something like that. They ended up playing Oregon in one of the bowls. But yeah, I was watching some. Dude got a nice quick release.
He got more accuracy than Jimmy G.
That's what
Yeah.
That's what people were saying. Like Gary got more accuracy than Jimmy G, and then and plus you kind of do want to get somebody already, right behind Trey Lance and show him, hey, look, if you don't work out, we got another dude coming up. So I mean, that's what you want to do.
But I will say his arm is not the strongest, like Jimmy.
But also, what he had is good placement on the ball. When he was throwing the football, he had his tight end, I believe. Kostler, I can't remember dude's name.
Nice tight spirals. Yeah,
he was throwing exactly where you want him, just where the receivers, and that's what I liked. Little videos that I was seeing about it. So that pick, I think that was a good pick too, and being the last pick of the draft too.
One of the more talented Mr. Irrelevance in recent years, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. But if you, in my opinion, if you ain't seen the tape on this kid Poe, Nip, you need to familiarize yourself with this guy because
I'm gonna check it out. I'll check it out tonight.
He easily in McShay's draft pool, he was like, this kid easily is the best pulling guard in this draft. You know what I'm saying? So
the vet says, I don't know how we got West undrafted.
Right. Well, I mean, people make mistakes, man, and you know what I mean, and we all know that this system, you know what I mean, isn't the greatest when it comes to evaluating people. I mean, how the hell did Deshaun Watson fall to where he fell to when he got drafted? I mean, let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? He should have been one of the first guys out, but
bad feeling Dante Johnson. Oh man, that
oh my God, no, we don't need all that. Come on now, bro. Come on, Vet. Come on, Vet.
He's just there in case somebody goes down.
Right.
Knock
we need to knock on. I'm about to. Where's the wood? I gotta go knock on some wood right now. You're doing too much to me right now, man.
Knocked on that particle wood shit.
There we go. Yeah, I got some particle wood right there.
The funny thing is, though, Dante Johnson's been the most healthiest Niner in our fucking team.
Hey, but no lie though, he did play. He did play decent when he was in there. I was
when he needed to. When he needed to.
In the playoffs, he did what he had to do. I agree. Yeah. So,
but I still don't want him out there. Safety.
Yeah, no, he's like the last option. You know what I'm saying?
Was his 10th year already with us? Like,
we just re-signed Verrett. You know what I'm saying?
He was a bulk guy, wasn't he?
He was bulky. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
he was a champ bulk guy.
Yeah,
because he loved those long arm, tall cornerbacks
with no talent.
no ball skills like Chris Culverberg and smoked by Bolden and Bolden in the Super Bowl. Bolden in what's that cat's name?
Culver had the body to do it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, man.
Corey Smith, yeah, it was lighting his ass up.
Corey Smith ate us up, blood.
And the other cat, Jacoby Jones, all three of them.
Oh my God,
they ate our secondary up, unfortunately.
Just run straight. That's all you had to just run.
The writing was on the wall when the Cowboy had a torn bicep, dude. And that's when you knew it wasn't going to work good. He went into that game with a torn biceps.
Nah, the writing on the wall was the deer antler spray. That was the writing on the wall from fucking Ray Lewis.
Or when they fucked around and took Carlos Rogers and started him over Roscoe Parrish when Roscoe Parrish was playing like a Pro Bowl
beast.
You know what I mean? I didn't know what that was all about. Harbaugh outthought that one right there. So
Roscoe had more speed.
But anyway, so all in all, I would say most of the pundits that I've seen, the draft pundits, gave us a solid B.
I would say I would give about a B.
Yeah, I would be my
B pluses, B pluses. I've seen.
I didn't even go as in depth as I usually do, way more. But I kind of
receiver looks good too. The receiver that we got from MSU, Fast
Yeah,
as fuck.
Danny SMU, Danny
Yeah.
Gray. He's
Danny
quick,
Gray.
but
That was the
we
vet's
need.
call. He liked him.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Danny Gray was we didn't, he didn't really wasn't asked to do too much, but other than running a straight line. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, he
And
was good on the little drags though. He looks like he'll be good for some underneath shit.
he needs a lot more polish, in my opinion. But when you talk about
Fast too, right?
decent hands and speed, he's got that in
Speed.
spades. And we do need a guy like that. But that all we're gonna ask him to do is run in a straight line. You know what I mean? And outrun everybody. We do need
I mean,
that.
I'll take him over Ray for sure.
I mean, you know what? Ray's ass is going to be in, punt coverage team, get a punt unit, get out there,
Ray and
fucking,
Womack.
you know what I'm saying? Return the fucking ball. That's it. So that's how I got with that. Yeah, but we'll see. Other than that, I think it was all right. I think we all were expecting something a little bit more, just for the fact that we had all those picks. Next year might be a lot of the same. We get 4 compensatory picks next year again.
And we
Oh,
still
'cause
don't have a
like
first
those.
round pick next year too.
So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we still got the Jimmy saga to finish off. So who knows if
God
somebody
damn,
finally
man.
gives up a fucking
Fucking
second
saga,
rounder,
man.
or we finally cut this guy.
Mhm.
So we
And
don't
I
know
need
what's
to
going to
get
happen
some
yet.
wing payment once he gets cut, or
Right.
from the other Womack. He's gonna have to Venmo me something. The best thing about Danny Gray is he actually plays at Fort. Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
does.
had. Yeah,
See it
it
on the
shows up
field.
on film, and it shows up on in practice, and it shows up game day. So yeah, he was definitely one that I wasn't really upset when it came to that pick. You know what I mean? That was decent. That was a decent pick because we do need that one. Like, it's just I mean, dude that's just gonna fucking take off, and all you see is his shoes still there. You ran right out of his shoes. That boy so quick. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good, decent one in my opinion. The picks, like I said, that I was happy with was definitely Drake, the kid, Danny
Yeah,
Gray,
Drake.
and Jason Poe when it was all over. Just when you see this kid, how quick he just gets, you know what I'm saying? Like they hiked the ball, and this motherfucker is already running past the tackle. You know what I'm saying? That's how fast this dude is.
Fast ass. Fuck.
You know what I mean? 6 foot 300. He's a bit undersized, so he projects out as to be a center. We still don't know what's going on with Alex Mack. So I think that was a great move to make right there for that dude. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what
Kalia
happens.
Davis is hurt. Is that correct? Am I
He
correct?
is hurt. That could be a good one too. You know what I mean? I think the vet touched on that.
Yeah,
Not to,
kind
in
of
one of the
like
questions.
replace DJ Jones.
Right. Yeah, they
6'2",
said
310. I
Torn
mean,
ACL, right? Torn
yeah,
ACL.
was it an ACL?
Was it?
I
Or
don't
not?
know. It could have been. I don't remember what the injury
I know
it
was.
he's
says
hurt.
here,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know he's hurt.
it has on CBS. It says surgery to repair torn ACL last November. Has only played in 5 games in the last 2 seasons after opting out in 2020 because
Yeah,
of COVID. There aren't a lot of holes in Davis's game. He just needs to stay healthy.
that's it.
So he could be
But
a nice fill-in for DJ Jones.
he projects perfect for this team. I mean, that's what we do all the fucking time. We always take flyers on guys that are injured. So, I mean, hopefully we find a diamond in the rough with him because the guy definitely has game. But we'll see when it comes to that. That was one that I think somebody told me to highlight because if he comes out healthy, he is just like he has the same kind of tendencies as DJ Jones.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
6th round, I mean, shit, you take
I mean,
those
it's
kind
just
of flyers in the 6th round for
the
sure.
comparisons are there. DJ Jones was 6th rounder. You know what I mean? So it works. You know what I mean? So I think we would definitely benefit with that because you could never have enough, especially for the fact that what I'm saying, we still don't know if Kinlaw is going to come back 100. You know what I mean? But that was also the reason I really wanted them to go after Pascal out of Kentucky because I figured he could take that, but the Lions got him. So the Lions are actually going to make some decent moves, in my opinion. They're going to step up their game too because they got definitely some good hitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that Jamison Williams cat is a beast. That receiver.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. So they got some good things to work with on their D line
But they
with
got Goff
Pascal
though. That's the problem.
and Hutchinson. So they're gonna definitely make some noise.
Goff though. I can't get past that.
Well, they did draft a quarterback, didn't they?
I don't know if they did or not. I can't
Did
remember.
they draft Pickett? Who drafted
Let me
Pickett?
check.
Steelers.
That was the Steelers.
Okay, Steelers got Pickett.
Let me see if the Lions did get somebody. I could pull up real quick here.
Could have swore they got a quarterback. Maybe I'm tripping.
They may have later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they got some good early picks. Let's see.
They
Right.
got Hutchison.
Oh man, that's gonna help them like crazy.
Mhm.
Hutchinson, Jameson Williams. They got Josh Pascal, edge out of Kentucky.
He's bad,
Kirby
dude.
Joseph, safety at Illinois. He looked okay from what I
Kirby,
seen.
that was another guy they got. That's true.
They didn't get a QB, so they're stuck
Yeah, I
with
don't think
the
so.
beginnings.
Well, they must really believe in Goff then, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Mhm.
But
Well, they
yeah,
got. I mean, they got that tight end. He's pretty good. They also got what's the name? Saint receiver.
Hawkinson,
Saint,
right?
Amon
Hawkinson.
St. Brown
yeah,
Yeah.
Saint Brown. Yeah, so they got some.
and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the running back Swift too. Don't
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
No, I think he got cut, didn't he? Oh no,
He's there.
Think about the other cat they had. What was his name? The dude from Auburn.
Can't remember.
Can't remember his name.
We had
know
him. We picked him up last year. What the fuck was his name?
From
I don't
Auburn?
remember. Yeah, we picked him up off the waivers last year when we were
Yeah.
like hella banged up.
Can't remember.
I don't
Trent
remember his
Cannon?
name.
No. Trent Cannon?
Nah. He's the big back from Auburn, and then he was on Detroit. Shit, let me see who the fuck this dude is. I ain't worried about it. Whatever.
Yeah,
He was a
on the
big ass
team.
back. Dude. He was like 6'2". Not Jacques Pierre, but another cat. Or maybe we didn't sign him, but we were looking at him.
Right.
He's a big back from Auburn. Well, I don't know what the fuck. Maybe the vet knows who he is.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I think the draft, it didn't shake out the way we 100% wanted it to, but hopefully they listened to the scouts this time and nailed down some pretty decent late picks. You know what I mean? Because we could use anything coming out of this draft to strengthen us up for next year. So, and we're gonna need it too, because fuck, man, we're about to fuck around and Bosa's gonna get his contract. It's obvious that Debo's gonna get his contract.
Hopefully, hell yeah.
I mean, he deserves it. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Carry-on Johnson was the cat I was looking
Carry
for.
on, carry on baggage. Anyway, but yeah. So we and to be honest, when it comes to the whole Debo situation, I feel what he was talking about. If it went down, so I watched the Grant Cohn.
Grant Cohn be trolling fools though.
He do. But in this one, he had a point. He had a major point. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, sometimes it's just irrationality when that guy talks. You know what I'm saying? But in this one, he kind of had a point, and it made you think. So what he said was, all this happened. The whole funk started right after they had a dinner, and that dinner was Debo and Shannon Lynch. You know what I'm saying? So he was saying that he thinks that they came at him with well, we don't know if we should pay you all this and that much because, you're a wide back and you're probably not going to have a super long career. So we don't really want to pick you off all that. And if that was the case, I would have flipped my lid just like Debo did because he did it for the team. You put him in that role. And so now the fact that he was, such a team guy and did that role to help the team, you know what I'm saying? Now you want to punish him for that and try to, save money, which I don't put past, Prague telling him, hey, feel him out, tell him this. You know what I'm saying? Because I still think to this day, I don't give a shit what anybody says, that's the guy that really runs the team. Shaddy don't run that shit. Neither does Lynch. Shaddy runs the draft. Shaddy runs personnel. But if they become too expensive, that's when Prague steps in. You know what I'm saying? And we all know Prague.
T.O. chimed in and said he knows the real reason why.
Okay.
Yeah, why Debo, with the whole thing that made it go sour, but
right.
He's not spilling the beans supposedly.
Okay,
he was tweeting about that.
Let's be honest. He had his issues with trying to re-sign with the team too. So, maybe he can throw that shit out there. Who knows? But we all know for one thing is for sure, Jed totally he has Prague's back completely. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, that's where a lot of this runs through the front office. You know what I mean? So if that was what was said to Debo, we're not going to give you all that bread because you're not going to have a long career. I understand him completely saying, "Fuck this, fuck you, I'm out of here." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Because how are you gonna punish me for being a team guy? That's some bullshit.
I could picture
So
Shanahan saying some weirdo shit like that too.
I believe it, dude, and
He pissed off RG3.
I could bet, I could easily see him playing bad cop and fucking John Lynch playing good cop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a player, he knows how it is. You feel me? So if that was what was said, then I can understand why it went that route. You know what I mean? But if they said that and shot themselves in the foot thinking that he was going to back down from his stance, you're stupid as hell for doing that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he always held the cards. Who could you say helped out as much as he did and put the team on his back like he did last year? You know what I mean? So I would love to say Kittle did, but he didn't. He got injured, and
Mhm.
he was mostly a glorified blocker most of the season. You know what I'm
And that's
saying?
the vet had jumped in again with this. I forgot to read this comment. The TDP Prince pick was Debo could focus on just more
Mhm.
wide receiver.
Right, right.
I
But
think
the
that's a great
problem,
point.
everybody keeps overlooking what I said. You know what I mean? That's not the problem. The problem is you could have got him in the fifth round. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree, but
You
you
know,
know
and nobody.
Shanny going Shanny.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem. That's my whole point. You know what I mean? It was not the issue of that he chose a running back, is that he chose a running back when you had your safety of the future right there. You know, I will go as far
Look
as to
Dante
say,
Pettis. I mean,
you know, exactly,
look at all the receivers he
exactly.
passed up for Dante Pettis.
What did you do
He
that
was
for? You
hyped on
know,
that fucking pick too.
it was stupid as hell. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with this. You know, with this, it's the same thing for me in this pick. I don't have a problem with the fact that they took a running back. I just have a problem with the fact that they took a running back when your future safety was sitting right there. I think that guy's gonna be a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, no problem. He's gonna definitely be a Pro Bowler. But, but if nobody picked a fucking running back, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's climbing over you to get the running back number 5 when nobody chose one until the day after you made that pick. That was my problem with that pick. You know what I'm saying? Not that you took one, you just
Mhm.
took one way too fucking early and you didn't need to because nobody was going looking for that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing when you want to talk about how, oh shit, the Seahawks took fucking DK Metcalf and now we got Jalen Hurd. You know, that's one thing. I get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there, that wasn't the case here. You know what I mean? That was my only problem. You know what I'm saying? And we lost Mostert, so I understood we needed another running back. We did. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it looks like this year what they're going for is, you know what? All positions are open. It's a battle everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
That's what it
World
looks
War
like.
Three. That's what
Yep.
I think. It's World
Yeah.
War Three. Whoever comes out standing tall at the end of camp is basically that was
Mhm.
the whole fucking, you know, the whole point of this. You know what I mean? I just think that you
Oh, since we're talking about that, since we're talking about other stuff, uh, what do you think about these stupid ass reports coming out about Trey Lance not being ready and that they're all
ah I
scared? This
think
is
that's
Mhm.
bullshit.
horseshit. How many fucking months ago where everybody said, "Did you see Trey Lance in camp? Oh, did
Yeah.
you see him in camp? Oh my God, it's so crazy what
Mhm.
he's
And
doing in camp."
Javi leaked those videos, and he was
That's what
bombing.
I'm saying, dude. And he was yeah,
Mhm.
right. Wasn't he balling? So to me, when I hear that, and then I hear 3 months later after the draft, oh well, they're underwhelmed by this guy. He ain't doing so hot. That's just some horse shit. People
Mhm.
trying to, you know, they need news. You know, the
Yeah.
draft's over.
Nah, it's
Debo didn't get traded. Yeah.
bitter Jimmy
Yep.
fans too.
Yeah. Debo didn't get traded. Let's make some. Let's make something up. Let's bring something else up.
We
You know.
need shit.
Jimmy got like a cult following still, dude. I don't
He
understand it.
does. He does. People like Jimmy,
Go.
dude. They love that
Go
motherfucking
follow.
smile. So I think that's a whole lot of horse shit, especially with the last couple of days, how people are backtracking on, oh, I didn't say that. I said this and then this was reported wrong and blah 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 and all that other shit. It's just another bunch of bullshit. People need to talk about football, man. We'll watch you
Mhm.
some USFL if you want to talk about football. I've heard that they're having some pretty decent highlight reels there.
All right, so we got our Niner news out the way.
There you go.
Let's move on to the Warriors real quick.
Well,
We don't have to do too much about them.
brothers, I gotta. This is where I gotta leave you, gentlemen.
Oh,
It
it's
was
all good.
great.
We're
It was
gonna wrap
great
it up in a
seeing
quick
them. Yeah,
after.
for sure. It was great seeing them. You know, I mean, kick that ass, and it was great to see them whoop that ass after they did what they did to GP2. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I like that. I was really juiced about that. And then, I mean, I'm not gonna chop down John Morant, but yo, it was okay when y'all fucked around and hacked the living shit out of GP2, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking shit about him. Jordan Poole with a leg grab.
That
You
wasn't
know
even
what I
where he
mean?
got hurt either. He got hurt
It
on the
wasn't
pool.
where
I
there's
mean,
no way he's gonna
Clay
get a fucking
plays me.
deep ass bone bruise from a leg grab, dude.
Yeah, like
Especially
he's
one
doing
like
some Mr.
that.
Miyagi shit.
They've been
Exactly.
wanting to get Jordan Poole suspended.
Of course they did.
It all started. There were Memphis media was showing clips when GP2 got hacked. Jordan Poole was on the bench. I guess they got that rule where if you're on the bench you can't get on the court.
Right,
And
right.
there's video that Jordan Poole jumps to the court and you
Yeah,
can't have that. So
right.
I mean, it looks like just Memphis media has been just are trying their best to get
Yeah. Yep.
Jordan Poole suspended at least for a game or two because they know that Jordan Poole is the X factor for the Warriors right now. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
That's right.
That's what it is.
Defensively, ooh,
That's right.
He's
been
been all
kind of
right.
ugly, man. Nah.
Just let him go, Dib. Let him go. I know, you know what I'm saying. You've been
No,
on him all
offensively, he's
season,
been a
bro.
spark. He's been a spark,
Yeah.
but
Defensively,
He's doing his job.
defensively,
He's doing good enough. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Hey,
good. He's doing good. Yeah, he's doing good enough.
if he's coming off the bench and he's giving you 30 points,
I mean, the Warriors. This is a dirt. I mean, it's been a messy series.
yeah,
Steph has been having those ugly turnovers, just ugly passing.
yeah,
There's been times that Clay, when he should just shoot it, but then he wants to pump fake and then look around. I
yeah,
mean, just go for
yeah,
the shot.
yeah,
And there have been times that Wiggins is, missing shots. I mean,
yeah.
it's right now. They got something good, but they got something bad.
let me
It's
ask you before you dip out though. Did you watch Multiverse of Madness yet?
No, no, I haven't had a chance to get out there and go check it out just yet.
go
All
check
right,
it out.
Yeah, but oh yeah, yeah, that one motherfucker was marked on the calendar. So yeah, we're probably more than likely going to try to check it out sometime this week or next.
all
But I just
right.
want to get rid of this
We'll get
fucking
your take on that next week. We'll
for sure.
try to get on a better schedule here. Everybody's healing up and shit.
Say we all have it, brother. So no big deal. But
Right
yeah,
on for coming on, man.
so all good, baby. You know what I'm saying? Go Dubs, go Golden,
Go,
go Blooded, always. You know what I'm
go
saying? And
Giants.
that's right, go Giants. And they're
They
finally
won
starting to
today.
pull themselves. I was actually at the game where they got smashed out 11-5, like a week ago. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't cool. That was my first game of the year. Wasn't really happy
That was
about
against
that. But,
Washington.
yeah, and I think that was
Yeah,
Washington.
big
Yeah,
Washington. Yeah, they just smacked the shit out of
yeah.
us out of
The
nowhere.
first inning, it was like 5-0. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. We were gone by the fifth inning,
Mhm.
But the fact that they got the shit together these last couple games, it's good. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to fall to fourth place. So let's just keep this ride going, and you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, we keep tearing shit up.
They beat
Yeah,
the
Double.
Rockies tonight too, right?
yeah, 9-2.
Yeah, I think they won. Yeah, tonight. Yeah,
Nine
right.
and
They
nine.
were
92?
up. I know they were up.
Yeah, they won
Yeah,
92 today.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, 92. We smashed them out. So yeah, word. I'll see you gentlemen
Dodgers.
next week.
Mhm.
Heal up, brothers. Get some rest
All right,
and
man. You
some
too.
fluid.
All
All
right, for
right,
sure,
brother.
man. You
Go.
too. Rest up, man.
One love. Go Blooded.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, so back to the Warrior series. It's been an ugly, ugly series. The last game was the ugliest. It wasn't even like good defense being played either. It was just poor shooting.
Turnovers. It was ugly. You couldn't a lot of just
Turnovers was the main thing. The Warriors, man,
another slow start. It just
I think they
like
were point shaving.
uh with Ja sitting down and Steven Adams starting, that changes it up. That changes the tempo of the game much slower. I think that's and that's a little bit a smart play on on
And
Memphis.
Adams was making a difference too. He's making
Yeah,
blocks,
got
some
blocked.
rebounds.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was his first game from I don't know how many weeks, but he had I think 10 points or some of that. I know he had 10 rebounds. So, I mean that was even though
It could
we've
have
been.
gave us some problems if they had Ja and him. So we kind of lucked
That
out a
kind of
little.
changes the tempo, though. I think. I mean, without Steven Adams, they're much quicker. They're much more, a little bit more explosive in the offense. But now with Steven Adams, I think it kind of slows down the game. And now that we heard that John Morant might not be returning, I think it might be
He's
another
done.
game. Yeah, I mean, I think it might be another close game like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis wins this
Yeah, I
one.
was gonna say game 5 they might
I
win.
wouldn't be surprised if they win game 5 at Memphis and they come back and close it for game 6 here.
Yeah, Chase.
Yeah, the key thing is just this is where Steph needs to just take over these games. We've seen some inconsistency with Clay. Poole coming off the bench has kind of cooled down a little bit. Also, honestly, I would like to see more minutes on for Moody than Damian Lee.
Damian Lee needs to be
Has
off the court. You could put in Kuminga.
I
You
would
could
say
put in
throwing Moody for like
JTA.
five,
I'd rather
six
see
minutes.
JTA in there.
JTA kind of slows it.
He's good on defense though.
Maybe on boards that's it, but I don't know. He tends to do some dumb fouls here and there, especially when right now you want to close the series. I want to be, yeah. We saw JTA come on the floor when we were up 30 points on, when we won game 3, but yeah, like I would like to see what Moody could provide to this team. Instead of having Poole in there. I mean, not Poole, my bad. Damian Lee. Or the one that's been keeping us in these games has been Otto Porter. While everybody was bricking those threes, Porter came through. I believe he had three to four threes. Also, we grabbing some boards, and even Looney was grabbing some boards.
I called for Porter to start before we had the playoffs. I said we need to start Porter.
But yeah, I think Steph. We need one of those games that's just Steph takes over. I'm talking about the whole game, not just like the fourth quarter yesterday where he dropped 18. Just take over. And then another thing is he's been getting fouled a lot, and they're not calling it, which is some bullshit on the refs. So I can see why.
Yeah, they're letting Memphis hack us all.
Yeah, but he wasn't hesitant in the fourth quarter and start driving and doing those little layups that he's sick as fuck. Where he comes in, shakes them, comes back in, comes in with the left, and and hopefully the team sees that, and then the team gets shooting. The shooting gets a little bit better, especially for Clay. And I feel kind of bad, what I'm saying, because missing 2 years, you're back in the playoffs, you're one game now away for moving up to the Western Conference Finals. But I think he's gonna just get better. He's got to have a little bit more patience with him, and you can see him like he's talking to himself. He's fucking talking to the basketball, to the rim and shit. So,
but I mean, Poole was pretty bad like yesterday.
Poole
14 points, 4 of 12. Had 6 rebounds. That was nice. 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
he didn't have a great game, and defensively, he was looking pretty weak defensively. Which I think Poole's better off the bench. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, he cools down though. Once he comes off that starting, that's when he's averaging like I think 24, 25 points. But another one that he's been playing pretty solid defensively is Wiggins. I think he's been our rebound off leader of getting rebounds. Yeah, he's that's where
but just don't let him shoot the ball in the clutch. And even yesterday, he had that ugly ass brick at the end of the game.
Open three.
Don't let him touch the ball in the clutch. I'm fine with him. Like
when he's touching the ball, going there, driving.
He turns it over a lot too.
Try to see if he could come. If they commit a foul on you, get the free throws. He dropped. I think he was pretty good in the free throws yesterday. So that's good to see that he's improving his free throw percentage.
They said we're 3-0 when he scores 17 points against Memphis.
All right. So that's what I got to do. Score. Yeah. Like you're at least 18, 17, and then you're good.
Draymond Green only had 2 points.
But he's running the core and telling everybody where to go. And so, I mean, that's fine. I mean, he's not, I mean, when it comes to points, Draymond shouldn't even be your third or fourth option. He's your fifth option when it comes to scoring.
Porter had 12.
That was nice. And Kuminga, I think Kuminga got
no points for Kuminga.
I think he's kind of struggling just coming up, when he's starting.
I don't think they know how to use him too, though.
It's just
he's not like he don't really
mix
in well offensively. Defensively, he's good.
When it comes to offense, I think he's still learning because there's times Draymond's telling him, "You move, you got to be here, you got to be there." So he's just not in the right position. That's what I've noticed, and that's what kind of like throws him off. It throws his game off somewhat. but he did. I mean, he
I
got.
like him on D though. He plays good D.
He's been all right. But hopefully,
Been on
I want.
job first couple games.
Hopefully they win tomorrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis wins it tomorrow, though. Close game by 1 or something like that. But yeah,
we should try to take care of that though, because we can get some rest.
Yeah, you want to, especially I think the Suns. And the Suns' Dallas game is tomorrow, right?
No, they beat the Mavs tonight, 110
they did?
to 80. Yeah, the Mavs were in it first half, and then they just got blown out second half. Damn, 110 to 80 though. They lost by 30.
Oh, it's like the Heat. Heat whooped on the 76ers today. I think they won by 30 as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, crucial to try to get this win if we can. But it ain't the end of the world. We can come back and take care of business at Chase Center, hopefully.
Yeah.
In Game 6, if we can't get this one, Steve Kerr should be back by that. Kerr on the injury. What was it? The health and safety.
He's not
basically COVID. Basically COVID.
Steve Kerr didn't fly with the team to Memphis, so he's staying here in the Bay. So yeah, hopefully that gives him some rest. Also, hopefully, I'd love for us to close this series tomorrow, but I just might be a little bit troublesome.
Oh, it's tomorrow? Shit, I ain't even sure.
It's tomorrow.
Okay.
So hit up right Doomzilla, see what's up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a spot to watch that possibly. Might be down for that. All right, well, go Dubs. You see, I got my playoff shit on. Ready for tomorrow. What else we got? We should wrap it up. I'm getting kind of tired anyway. Doctor Strange 2, we could touch on it real quick. I don't know. I actually didn't get a chance. I told you how I liked it. I didn't think it was great, but what was your opinion on it? Spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
Spoilers. I won't spoil it too much. I think it was the first. I think it was better than the first one. Just with the story that was going on,
too much, and
I think.
Go ahead.
And the way how I saw it was a big ass comic book, just shit happening here, there. It was just kind of all over the place.
But a lot of it was kind of pointless. Like, what was the Illuminati? They wasted the Illuminati.
That was just.
They had the whole universe to work with, and they only went to 2 universes. America Chavez was like, okay, she just figured out her powers hella conveniently at the end. That was like whatever.
She's a kid.
And same with Scarlet Witch, like, oh, my kids, like, you didn't realize that shit when you were fucking up hella people. Like that shit was kind of, she just switched up hella quick, like all of a sudden. That was kind of like, eh. So I mean, it wasn't the worst to me, but I give it a 7. I thought the first one was better. I thought it was better story, executed better. This one was like too much all over the place and wasted. They wasted a lot of they had a lot to do. They had a lot of stuff to use and they didn't really use it. They used only 2 universes out of a fucking million they could have used. They could have brought in various people, and the people they did bring in died hella quick. Like, I get it, you're trying to make Scarlet Witch look hella powerful and stuff, because she is. But you could have let one of them survive or hit them or something. Like, they didn't have to just kill them all. Like, that was kind of like.
Yeah, I think that was the reason, just to show how powerful she got. We saw her probably, in 3 stages.
And then she didn't even fucking mention Vision at all. Like, what about Vision? She's talking about the kids, but fuck Vision, huh?
She did. Didn't she?
She didn't say shit about Vision in that movie. Maybe one thing, but it was all about the kids. She didn't say nothing about Vision, so it's fuck Vision. Whatever.
Didn't she say she had to kill him?
She said, like, she said, yeah, she had to kill him. That was all she said. She didn't go to no universe and try to get him back, though. What the fuck? Fucked up, man. Played Vision. Sam Raimi played Vision. And some of the Sam Raimi shit was corny. Some of his like cheesy little lines and shit. I don't know. I'm not a Sam Raimi dude like Doomzilla and Rick Grayson, whatever the fuck he goes by.
Yeah, the only thing I was like really was the second end scene.
That was whack too.
I was like, really? This is what you saved it for the second one?
And then Yeah, they destroyed the Darkhold hella easily. Like, what the fuck was that? The first time, the Karmatage lady, she just stabbed it and it like fucking
Oh yeah,
disappeared.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? That was weak.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know about that shit. Some of that shit was just like questionable. Questionable. Like,
I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
what's your
Was it?
score?
Would I name it better than the
Ragnarok.
No Way Home? No. I'll probably give a. I thought Doctor Strange was good because I just had watched it too right before it, and I thought Doctor Strange was like probably like somewhere in a 7.5. So I'll give this one like an 8.
What about is it better than Ragnarok though?
If
I
not,
got Ragnarok above it.
got my boy Korg.
So you say 8?
I'll give it an 8. That was
Yeah,
pretty
I'll
good.
say 7, 7.5. Like,
That was pretty good.
the I just feel like they wasted some of the characters. Like the other Doctor Strange, they killed him hella fast. Like that was kind of weak when they were battling. It was like that battle could have went a little longer. It was kind of
It
quick.
was like I was saying, it was just a lot of shit going on. That's what the reason. I mean, there wasn't one point like okay. It was just like it felt like you're reading a comic book. Like oh shit, oh damn, this is happening. Oh what the fuck? Oh
But they could have spent more
that's
time with the I don't know, with the Illuminati. That kind of pissed me off because you seen them in the trailer and then they just died hella quick. Like, okay.
I mean, it was dope
And it was
seeing
hella
this.
dumb. Like, come on, dude. Like, they're just gonna be like acting hella stupid the way they die. Like, oh, like everybody takes them on one at a time. Like, that was whack. Everybody takes you on one at a
Yeah,
time. That was kind of like,
that's why she's a Scarlet Witch, the most powerful Avenger.
yeah, but they would have all attacked her at once. They wouldn't have just done one at a time. That was like whack. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We gotta
Fight
go.
scenes kind of questionable,
I thought,
but
yeah,
not terrible. I like a 7, 7.5 at the most. I like the other one better though. I like the first one better, even though it had less
I thought Doctor
characters.
Strange, the first one was good. So so I'm saying this one is a little bit better. I would say. I wouldn't
Think
say
so?
it's all the way better, but I would say, oh yeah, this is a little bit better.
I think the other one was better written. Personally, this was kind of like a little too much all over the place, and they kind of just I don't know. It was just weird, man. It wasn't what I expected going in. I thought they could have
What's
used better characters. I mean, they had a whole universe to work with. They had a multiverse to work with, and they
mhm,
didn't really use any of those characters at all. They were kind of just pointless when it was
mhm.
all said and done. They just used them to power up Wanda, basically. And then she killed herself at the end, but I don't think she's really dead.
Nah, she's not dead. Hell no,
Yeah,
bring
that
back
was kind of just
Wanda.
like whatever. Uh, but I was super hyped up for this one.
Yeah.
Going off of No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but No Way Home lived up to my expectations. This
No
one
Way Home was
left a
way
little
more.
flat
Yeah. Was it? But yeah, that's to say, it's not better than No Way Home. No.
because they could have introduced a lot more people. They could have like
But they like
introduced mutants.
I would say they did. We just got a sneak peek of it. I mean, even though this is not our multiverse, I mean, we saw Professor X, we saw Mr. Fantastic. We thought that was dope, and even what's his name? What's
Oh,
his
and the
name?
other thing they wasted was the fucking Shumagorath Gargantos. They killed that thing off hella quick in the beginning. That like octopus thing. That was
Uh
like
huh.
a villain they just threw away, pretty much. Uh, I don't know. And Chavez, like I thought America Chavez was gonna be way better. She
I
was like
I would say
kind of
that
whack.
it was just basically That's the only thing I would say negative about this film is basically it's Doctor Strange babysitting a teenage superhero that doesn't know her
Yeah,
powers
she
yet.
was like,
That
yeah,
was the
she's
only.
hella powerful. I think in
Yeah,
the comics she's more powerful.
isn't she like a new character? I mean, because
She's newer, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, we'd have
newer, I
to ask
guess.
the
Yeah,
Doomzilla would know, but
maybe tomorrow, hit up Ray Doomzilla and can answer our questions.
I mean, because these guys were saying it was amazing, and I was like, amazing? I don't know about that shit. Ray, and the SF
I
Comic Book Company.
yeah, I know. Yeah, go check them
I
out. They
think they're a
dropped
little
their.
bit biased for the Sam Raimi. Personally, I
That's
think that's
Womack.
what that was.
Womack, if you're watching this, let us know if you
Well, he's a
seen it.
Sam Raimi guy too, so
So he'll
he's
okay.
kind of
All
biased.
right, all right. And not the
They like
not
that Army of Darkness shit.
and we're not talking about the Womack player that just got drafted. We're talking about
Gold Dirty Bastard
GDB
Womack.
Womack. Yeah. So
I think, yeah, I mean, it was solid, and when I was reading a lot of the reviews, a lot of people agree. They're saying it was one of the worst rated Marvel flicks. I posted that in group chat, and Doomzilla didn't like that. So yeah, I mean, it's all good. We can disagree on that. I mean,
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
not saying it's the weakest. Some people saying it was terrible. I wouldn't go that far. I thought it was. I thought it was good, but it had potential to be great,
Yeah,
and
and
I
yeah,
don't think they capitalized upon that.
and yeah, and
Because why are you just gonna use 2 universe? That's the thing, like, dude, you had all that shit to work with, you just picked 2 universe to work with? Like, I
um,
didn't get that.
yeah, and I went to go watch it with Little Lil. He liked it, so
And to me, like, I don't see myself watching it again, like, I don't really have that clamoring to see it again.
mhm,
Rewatchability, I don't know if it's gonna be there for that.
mhm.
Like, some of the other Marvel films I could watch over and over again, I don't see
Oh
myself
yeah, I would say there's a couple movies you could do that with they could be watched a
MCU.
couple of times. Yeah, I would say maybe
Ragnarok,
for sure, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
For sure, you could watch that a bunch of times. I've caught myself watching that shit hella times.
A lot of people hate
It's
on
just,
Guardians of the Galaxy
I
too,
would
but I
say
like
this
Guardians
movie.
of the
I
Galaxy
mean, this
too.
movie is way better than Eternals.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so
But I'm saying, like, Doomzilla and, Grayson were putting it, like, in their top 3 already. I was like,
oh
"Fuck
wow,
no."
I don't think top.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know top. I don't. For me, I don't know. I have my list.
Guardians, uh,
Guardians for sure.
first one,
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier,
For sure. Infinity.
Infinity War,
For
Avengers,
sure.
the first one,
That one for sure. Yep.
Infinity War, Endgame. They didn't like Endgame, though.
I
They didn't
thought
like
Endgame was
Ragnarok
good,
either.
but yeah, I think Ragnarok is.
Black Panther, I don't know, I
You
think
got Black Panther. Yeah, I
that's
got
probably
yeah.
better than this. Uh, Iron Man, I think Iron Man was better than this first one. I don't know about the second one and
First
third one, but the
Spider-Man. I
first
would
one.
say for sure first. Well, are we including the Sony ones?
Oh, I liked all 3 of the Spider-Mans better than this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The newer ones,
Mm-hmm.
the fuck is his name?
Tobey Maguire,
No, not the other one. I don't like
Tom
Toby.
Holland.
Tom Holland, yeah. All 3 of those are better than that. Uh, yeah, so, I mean, I don't even have it in my top 10 already. But,
Yeah.
like I said, I think the
Mm-hmm.
Sam Raimi bias is definitely in effect, um, for them. But I
And,
will say it was sick to see Scarlet, Witch get sick. That was tight. That was one thing they executed really
yeah,
good
that's another
was the
thing
way.
too.
Yeah.
What I heard was um, a lot of comic book fans were saying this movie had a lot to do with the comics. So I think that's another key why Ray Doomzilla and Max Effort enjoy and love this. I was watching their review episode today, but my phone was tripping, so I didn't finish it. They were about to start it their review, so I haven't been I was able to watch it, but definitely
I
will
only
watch and
watched a
see.
little bit of it, and
I
I
gotta.
put some comments in there, basically saying the same shit I said here.
All right.
And Ray Doomzilla agreed about the universes. He was like, "Yeah, that was kind of weak. Like they shouldn't have called it Multiverse of Madness if you're only going to use 2 little universes out of it."
Mm-hmm.
And then they just flashed like a couple other ones, like in her visions. But like, I don't know. Yeah,
Was
that
it?
was kind of.
Oh yeah, three. I would say three multiverses. I mean, three universes were three
It
of
was Earth
them.
616, and then the other one was the
The
with
Illuminati
the
one,
Illuminati. And then what was the other
and
one? The
the one
Doctor
that
Strange one.
yeah, right.
But that was only like
Yeah, with
5 minutes.
where that Doctor Strange came from, and then the universe that America Chavez came from. I mean, yeah, it's
That was hella
fucking
quick though too.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So if nothing, it would have been like a 3 hour movie. Shit.
I don't know. I think they would have been better off with a different director, but whatever. They gave Sam Raimi another chance. We'll
There's
see.
scenes that shit kind of remind me of Carrie. When
Yeah, I mean, he
Elijah
made
was
it into a
walking,
horror movie, which
and
was
then yeah,
cool.
and then
But
when that
why not
look,
have like a Blade introduction or something of a hint or an Easter egg of Blade at least,
that's another thing. I'm like I said, I'm pretty sure there's a shitload of Easter eggs that we missed and didn't see, but um, I'm pretty sure Ray Doomzilla can tell you all these Easter eggs that were dropped, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see. You probably can find them on YouTube too.
Yeah, I'll probably check it.
Yeah,
I got some
definitely.
stuff
Yeah,
to
that's
watch.
I'll do that for sure. Yeah, and check out that's a comic review episode of review on Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I thought because I like Doctor Strange 1 so much, I thought this was gonna be a little bit better, but to me it was a little bit worse, slightly.
So when's the next Marvel film? Thor.
Thor, Love and Thunder. I
Okay,
think it's
let's
in
check.
July.
Is
Well,
it-
we
Yeah, I
got
think
some
so.
other big shows coming out. Um, Stranger Things 4 comes out on the 27th. Obi-Wan comes out on the same day,
Ooh.
the 27th of May this month.
Yeah,
And then some other shows.
Top Gun
Top
comes
Gun,
out. That
Jurassic
look,
Park.
yeah. SF
We should do a
comic.
little
So,
summer movie review
oh yeah,
or preview. What were they talking about that on this episode?
yeah. They were talking about that, and I think something else, Bob's Burger or something like. I was like, come on,
I
man.
skipped that one.
Yeah, you guys go watch that.
All right. Well, shit. I think. Well, what did you think about Moon Knight, real quick, before you dip in? Did you finish it?
Honestly, I seen the last episode. I passed out. I gotta watch again.
Yeah, I thought it was the series overall was good, but it kind of lagged. The first episode was really good. Second episode was cool, but after that, it kind of got a little slow paced. I think
Mm-hmm.
it felt like they could have maybe sped it up a little bit.
So yeah, I gotta
Had
watch
more action. I think there should have been more action in the series.
it. I mean, that's what I've noticed that these Disney Marvel shows, uh, the second to last episode has the most action, and the last episode is more like they're trying to explain you the storyline, what happened, what's going on, and what's about to happen. I've noticed that, so I don't know if you peep
Yeah,
that.
but I thought it was a solid. I'll say like a 8
All right,
overall.
I gotta watch it again. There's
Just
like I passed out probably like the first 5 minutes.
Oh, the last episode? The
Yeah,
last episode was okay. It was
I gotta
whatever.
watch that one.
I'm just saying the whole series in
Oh
general
no, it was
was
good. Yeah, it was
yeah,
good.
like an 8.
I'll probably give it like a 7.5, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean it was
7.
good, but not great. It was something good.
Yeah,
Like
I think there should have been more action.
and
7.5 sounds about right.
yeah, and the only reason is because I had no. I mean, I've heard about Moon Knight, his little story background a little bit, so I was new to all this. He's an interesting character, um, but I can't say he's. I mean, is he a character that I'll be like, oh shit, I want to see a feature film about him? I mean, I'm more excited him maybe popping up in the storyline in one of these movies, but a whole film for him, I'm not like, oh, all right, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather see somebody else. Maybe.
Do you know what they said about this on their show?
Nah, I didn't see it.
I didn't see
I
it either.
missed that.
I gotta go
I
back
mean,
and check out
that's what I'm saying.
SF Comic
Yeah,
Company on YouTube.
yeah,
They broke all your comic book and movie shit down for you.
yeah.
I gotta go back
Hopefully,
and check them out.
yeah. Hopefully, hit up Rageumzilla and watch the Warriors game. We could talk some films and Moon Knight.
Yeah, let me see. Any other shit I've been watching? I haven't been watching too much, honestly. Just
Me and my girl
sports.
just
Been
finished
watching more
Ozark.
sports. I got
She's
it. I'm hella
uh,
behind on that.
uh
You started 1883 yet?
nah.
I gotta check that out
I
because
heard it's good
that's a
though.
prequel. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
prequel
heard
to
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, I heard it's good. I think AD been watching it. He's the
All
one
right,
that got me into the whole Yellowstone shit. So I think he's watching it. I gotta
I
hit
gotta
him up
check
and
that
see.
shit out. Yeah, I ain't been watching too much. I've been watching a lot of the hoops, the NBA hoops, and
Mhm.
checking the baseball scores. And yeah, I've been sick too, so I haven't been watching too much. Just doing a lot of sleeping and shit. Tyson got off though today.
Yeah.
Off his
Uh, there was
attack
no
of that
reason.
Lummy
Yeah.
dude.
There was no reason to press him charges. Shit. Fuck that. He did what he had to do. Dude was acting like
Yeah,
a bum in the in the plane. Why not? Shit. You want to act like that? You're gonna get your shit banked a couple times. And he got
yeah,
it. You know, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do that shit. We saw Tyson on the street.
and dude was drunk and he was a fucking
Yeah,
weirdo
he was a
anyway.
troll. Thing is, he
Yeah,
does, right? Isn't he like a professional troll?
some shit like that. And Tom Brady news. Your boy.
30 what 375 million.
Yeah, he's gonna be in
Fox.
charge of Fox NFL. So I'll be watching CBS on Sundays or Amazon. I'll be watching Amazon. Any other quick news that I could see? Nothing really. Elon
Giants won
Musk
today.
said he might die. He said if he dies of mysterious circumstances.
What? For
You
real?
didn't see that little tweet? Yeah, he was like,
Uh,
if
the
I happen
fuck?
to die because of mysterious circumstances, something, something, basically saying like, I
He's
don't
about to
know,
get.
he's
He's
about
about
to
to
get
get
the axe.
Epstein. He's about to get Epstein and shit.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Look it up. I
What the fuck?
think it was yesterday.
Oh shit.
Young Thug and them got indicted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going off the Google Trends. Bitcoin's dropped. You see
Yeah.
the Avatar 2 trailer? Looked pretty weak. It looked like
Yeah. I
generic.
was like, that's why I was like, why is this movie coming out like 20 years later? What? I mean, the first one was dope. That was sick, but that was what, like 10,
It
15
was
years
dope in
ago?
the theater, but then when you go back to watch it again, it was kind of like, all
And
right.
now
It was
I ain't gonna
cool.
lie. That was when I got that shit. Not even Blu-ray, just on
Blu-ray.
DVD. I think it was just Blu-ray wasn't out yet. Uh, I had the DVD. Now I ain't gonna lie. I watched that shit hella times,
Did you?
and yeah, I bought that. And
I
I don't
watched it
remember.
like 3 times total.
Nah, and then and the reason I kept watching that is I get I want to see when did this movie come out? Avatar.
I want to say like 2009.
Yeah, 2009. Yeah, see, and
It
then the
was
only reason,
2009?
yeah, it came out 2009, and the reason why I saw hella times because I'm pretty sure I took little Leo probably watched this in the movie theater. He liked it. We ended up watching. Back then we used to buy. We used to hit up Best Buy on was it on a Tuesday and buy
Every Tuesday, we
DVDs.
used to fucking tear that shit up.
And so back then I remember slapping that movie and I'm pretty sure. And he remembers. He says he was like, "Yeah, Dad, I remember watching this movie a bunch of times with you."
Damn, the
So,
Best Buy DVD section is one row right
uh,
now. I went on like, was this Tuesday? I
yeah,
went
I
one of
couldn't
these
even
days
find
last
it.
week. It was
Yeah,
one row. I was like,
yeah,
and it
I
was
couldn't.
Blu-ray, it was TV, shows and movies. It was everything like regular,
Yeah,
Blu-ray, and 4K all in
right.
one row. I was like, God damn, this shit is dead.
Yeah, the whole buying the movie. That's just that era's
It's all
quickly
digital.
dying. Yeah, but I mean, I got I used to buy shitload of DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah, we did spend our money
Uh,
on that shit.
the last two DVD Blu-rays that I bought was No Way Home, and the one before that was Black Panther. So that just
I
shows
haven't
you.
bought shit. I think I bought the first Avengers,
That's it.
like Die Hard or something like that.
Yeah,
I barely got
yeah,
any
yeah.
4Ks.
And then
But you
back in
can
the
get the 4Ks and it converts them hella good on the 4K Blu-ray player if you up converts them. So they're like damn near 4K. So
okay,
I got a couple Blu-rays I was just throwing on there, and that shit, yeah, it does a good ass job of up converting them.
uh,
If you just get the Blu-rays, you'll have the better quality than what you actually stream 4K on all the
uh,
streaming services. Yeah, I think it's better quality than like just the up converted Blu-rays.
all
So
right.
that's a little hack. That's a little hack because you can get those Blu-rays for hella cheap now.
Yeah,
$5, $6, $7. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. We don't want to do this 3 hour shit again. Damn near did it
yeah.
every goddamn episode, man.
Well, we haven't had an episode for 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
we got to
hour and
start.
a half average.
Hopefully, shit, this fucking cold bug virus is going on.
The incognito COVID,
Yeah, COVID. I don't know what.
undetectable
Yeah.
COVID of madness, fucking shit. Yeah, I think that's it. We ain't got shit else. We covered a lot. Just make sure you guys check us out on Linktree
Mm-hmm.
/ Gold Dirty Bastards podcast. Like I said, you can find all our good stuff there.
Yep.
All of our episodes, all of our social media accounts are linked into there. So one stop, one click, boom, you're there. Check us out. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe on all of our platforms. We'd appreciate it greatly. And spread the word to your friends. Let them know, we got some good shit brewing here. We want to start getting recognized and get our followers up. We've been stuck at a certain number for a while, so want to get some new subs. If you guys could help out with that, we'd be greatly very appreciative of that. Uh, and on that note, I think we fucking out of here. Go Dubs tomorrow.
Let's go.
And go Giants. I'm gonna put some parlays in this week. A couple more parlays in. Baseball parlays. Those Giants on there here and there with the Warriors. And yeah, we're out of here. Catch y'all in a week.
All right.
Peace out. One of these episodes we're gonna get Womack back on here, right?
Yeah,
Not
we should be getting
not the
Womack.
49ers Womack, but the Lummy Womack.
Maybe we could interview Womack and pretend he's the Womack that Niners drafted. So
Womack and Womack. Get him a Womack jersey. Bobby Womack.
Let's go.
Goddamn Baxter. All right. We're out of here.
All right.
Late.